Hello and welcome, Rocket League fans. We are here. We are live. The EGFC does continue. I'm FBI Tugboat. I'm here with my man Flater. Flater, how we doing?
I'm doing great. Tug, it's been a while. It's been a long time since we casted some EGFC Rocket League, and here we are back again after the winter break, excited to get right back into the action. It is, I believe, the 12th week, a few more weeks to go here before we start the playoffs, and we got some pretty exciting teams today.
That we do. That we do. The 16th seed, Xavier University, taking on the Eastern Conference Rochester Institute of Technology. That is RIT here. We're looking at a 2-2 Xavier University going up to do battle in this best of five with a 1-5 Rochester Institute of Technology squad.
Absolutely. I'm just getting confirmation this is the ninth week. So, quick
Yes.
update on my maths. It is still really good. But hey, going into this one, Tuggle, what are we expecting, right? Like you said, the 16th seed going up against the 20th one. Do we see an upset? Do we see the higher seed coming out on top? What are your expectations?
I mean, obviously, Xavier's going to be coming into this with a mild favorite, underdog being the Rochester Institute of Technology, that 20th seed right here. On
Mhm,
paper, this is a closer game. This is like a 3-1 scoreline, something like that, for the side of Xavier University. But this is
mhm.
just, this is coming back. This is everybody shaking off rust and whatnot, and possibly showing off what they learned and what they practiced over that winter break.
Hey, winter break was quite long, man. I don't know what to tell you, but I got to polish a lot of my skills, even though I'm stuck at the same rank. We don't need to talk about that, but I feel a little better.
Yeah, exactly, exactly, and that's what it's about. That's what it's about. Same here though. I've still hovered around gold or so. I think gold 2 as of right now in twos and threes. Starting this one up in just a little bit. This will be it is a regular season game. No reason to not pay it all the respect it deserves. Getting this one going. We are looking at 4-4 right here for
Here we
RIT. Trying
go.
to get something going.
All
Fuzzy Kitten
right.
Legs. What a name. What a name.
Man, yeah, you absolutely love to see what kind of names these people come up with, right? Even while being in university, they got all right. We got a person called Galaxy, and then there's the fuzzy kitten legs. They off here starts trying to start us off to a great start here. JV's University still trying to get out of their own defense. We got four shot, pretty much going towards the clear. Galaxy here in his own corner has a lot of boost to work with. Maybe set up something for his team, but just a lot of ping pong action so far. Fuzzy Kitten Legs, the man to look out for with the most wonderful name, could have the mechanics that he needs to set up that first goal. Nothing so far.
Valor and the rest of this Xavier University squad going to have their work cut out for them. A centering shot, but not going to be enough right here for it's going to be putting forth a solid effort, but nothing gaining on the other side. Galaxy, Valor confused, all looking to finally bring this one out, and that looks like it's going to happen.
Ooh. Oh, that's a pretty good touch. Confused Irish. They're
Confused
almost.
Irish, what a name.
It just keeps getting better, man. Fuzzy Kitten Legs could have just made it the best with that double touch, almost, but not quite there yet. Tomato, the funniest car on the field right now, gonna come up with something not quite. 90 seconds into the game, we're still at a 0-0 scoreline, but Xavier University is looking just that little bit more aggressive.
Yeah, I'm not surprised that this is still an even game. Nobody with a real lead thus far. Definitely some more time of possession, I would say, for this Rochester Institute of Technology squad, but nothing gaining quite so far. Not for lack of trying, though. We've gotten plenty of offensive attempts on both sides.
That we do, and so far, we see RIT getting out of their own half, trying to pull off something here, but Valor decides to stick with the ball for just a little while longer as we see Galaxy off the backboard, putting it up on the sidewall. Fuzzy Kitten Legs, here he is, beating two in the process. Can he get the second touch? Yes, he
There
can,
it is.
and 4-4 is there to take the first goal for RIT.
Third shot for 4-4 on that one. Lands it 2. As a 3-for-1 attempts to successful goals and a lead. Now a mild lead it might be for the Rochester Institute of Technology side.
Half the game gone, half the game remaining here. We see RIT up by one. And let us find out what Xavier's University has to go at. Well, what they have to offer. Well, I guess they have to offer pretty much everything here. Valor almost pulls off a shot on target, but the teammates, not quite around. They respect the defense a little too much there in order to turn it into an actual dangerous shot. Galaxy, however, that's a pretty good shot on target. An even better save coming in from Fuzzy. Kitten Legs 4-4 sends it down center. Good clear. Yeah, confused Irish there to pick it up. Valor back towards the orange net. Tomato. Oh, that's a huge whiff. Valor shot opportunity taken away by the backboard shot.
Yeah, you kind of mentioned it there, Flater. I would love to see these offensive attempts just get a little bit more support from the back line players. Obviously, players playing back there for a reason, but you got to cheat up a little bit more than that. Actually, give your opponent, your teammates, excuse me, a little bit of value based on positioning.
Absolutely, and that is what this particular game is all about, right? You want to make sure that you're communicating at the top of your game. A little bit of a rule one coming around there, but they managed to step away with it just fine. If they're in their own half, Tomato, however, makes no mistake in getting it out of danger. A bit of a clear down center leads us right back into the blue corner where we see Valor picking this one up. A pinch attempt, maybe, Valor. And, this right here is what we're talking about, right? Giving away possession after making multiple whiffing touches on the ball. And even then, okay, Galaxy, he manages to walk away with it.
Galaxy Brain indeed. A nice little hit right here. Nice little redirect to go right up on the inside. And we are back to a tied score line. What is that? 73 seconds left here. Flater, as these two teams still going down, doing battle. I said like maybe a 3-1 scoreline to begin with. I'd almost be surprised. Oh my goodness, Galaxy with a second.
All right. Galaxy just went around and said, "All right, boys, enough screwing around. I'm just gonna come in, secure another shot here." So walk in the park from me, top left corner, not even a problem. 67 seconds into the game, and just like that, in a matter of 20 seconds, Tug, Xavier's is up by 2.
Yeah, wow. So Xavier spends just shy of 4 minutes, no scores on boards. 20 seconds later, they now have that lead. Now, it's only a lead of 1. We know how quickly this can get dusted off, though.
Ooh, almost made 2 there. All right, Tomato has a bit of an open net to work with. Yeah, no problems there. And the lack of consistency is going to come back to bite Galaxy as Tomato finds that open net 2-2.
So I gotta say, I like how, yeah, so named Tomato, he's got the at in there. I believe we've talked to him before, gotten to sit down with this player in the interview and whatnot. And the pronunciation is tomato, like how, how they say tomato. Anyway, point is, there's a fraud, dude. That is a strawberry on top of Tomato's car, not a tomato.
Man, every single time I see that topper, I can tell that guy is either gonna be too good or too annoying in terms of the physical plays that they go up against. And so far, he has been a little bit of both.
A little bit of both. A little bit of irritation to your opponents is good. A little sort of support to your teammates. Also good. Valor right there, man, oh man. So first 2 go the way of Galaxy. The next one, and probably, I'll even say it 14 seconds, probably the game decision going the way of Valor.
What a read. My God, I can't even. Off the backboard, the softest of the touches to put it in the orange net. What a play by Valor there. And, if that is the goal that's going to give them this game, it is very well-deserved. Galaxy, he may have gotten the 2 goals to take it back to the equalizer, but, it was Valor who got the fancy shot on target as he puts it down on the ground. Xavier's is up by 1.
Yeah, so just outside of an overtime type situation, Rochester did a great job of keeping this ball alive as well, giving them a little bit of time, another breath of life into that game number 1. Now, folks, this is a best of 5, so nobody gonna get deleted from this competition quite yet. We got at least 2 more games to go. Let's take a look at these numbers. What we're looking at right now, outside of Fuzzy Kitten Legs offensively, is just like 6 very, very like evenly distributed players, right? The simple fact that 4 and Tomato both have the goal but have less points than Fuzzy Kitten Legs. What just really indicative of a well-played game in which all 6 members really got a hand in every role of production within this Rocket League game.
Absolutely, and I think, with just a little more effort, Fuzzy Kitten Legs has been a bit of an all-rounder on the field. If he is given a little more room to work with in terms of offense, I'm sure he can get something going for his team.
Exactly. Got that assist there to boot. So assist on one of the 2 goals there from the Rochester Institute of Technology squad there in game number 1. Let's head on into game number 2. See how this series is going to continue to shake out.
Here we go, another 5 minutes on the clock. Let's see who takes the first goal. Galaxy is going to be starting us off strong with a bit of a shot towards the corner. 4 has a lot of boost to work with, so walking the puck for him as he sends it over Tomato. Oh, he gets eliminated, and so is Valor going to be eliminating out 4, leaving Fuzzy Kittle all alone. No boost to work with. Misses the first shot. Tomato's there to save the day, though. Confused Irish. He's not confused about where this ball is going. Sends it in the corner. 4-4. Trying to take away possession. Galaxy just a little too fast. Tomato, good clear. Sending it over to 4. Maybe a shot opportunity there, but taken away. Still a lot of pressure. Could turn into something fruitful. If Galaxy, however, decides to step this one away, then it would all be in vain. Confused Irish getting a demo. Galaxy, here we go. Let's see some mechanical plays, and there it is. Valor, right position, right time, and a perfect shot on target.
Everything in a bag of chips right there. Galaxy with the assist as the other player, Confused Irish, comes in, takes the demo, just simply attacking the defenders on this one. Tomato, once again, that is a strawberry on top of the card. Don't let them fool you, folks.
You know, it comes close enough. Pretty
Red
close.
Fruit. Is tomato fruit?
Yeah, tomato is fruit.
I think it is.
Tomato, on the other hand.
Yeah, tomato's a fruit. Who'd have guessed it? I mean, oh, it's because it has seeds, right? Yep. Yep. That's what it is. Google tells all, folks. The supercomputers at the end of our fingers. Who'd have guessed it? Minute and 15 into this competition. Lead of 1 here for Xavier University. That's going to be dangerous until Valor has something to say about it.
Let's find out if he does. But, you know, you got Galaxy over there trying to set up a bit of a shot for Confused Irish. He's always been around on the offensive side, right? Trying to set up plays for his teammates, and you gotta respect it. Confused Irish has been so annoying in the midfield that it gives RIT so many opportunities to mess up and give away possession.
Yeah, so that was I believe Galaxy, they got the technical assist earlier onto the one Xavier goal thus far, but really it's Confused Irish that set this up all day long because the demo they took right immediately beforehand. Speaking of demos, the Confused Irish takes on offensive Xavier University pushes. This is it right here between Galaxy and Valor. They cannot get this one going.
Oh, that's a good beat.
That is not on point. Yes, it is.
Sheesh. Good spacing there by Fuzzy Kittle, putting it into the bottom right corner. 68 kph for Miles. I don't know what that is. I don't have that on Asian. I'm sorry, guys.
What, that's going to be, wait, how fast was it? Sorry, I didn't see it.
68 kph.
68 kilometers per hour. That's going to be about 40 miles an hour, I believe. It's like 1.6 per, I know that. Not 100% sure, though. 100% sure. Fuzzy Kitten Legs.
Quick math here.
Yeah, quick math. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, hopefully.
Ooh, oh my God!
Denied right there. Hate to see it.
Oh my God! Look at Fuzzy Kittle Legs trying to make his car as big as possible to be a nuisance to the team. Tomato puts yet another shot on the goalpost, and you know the goalpost. You gotta give it credit. 2 more saves going to the goalpost here in the second game as we still sticking around to that 1-1 scoreline. Confused Irish trying to dribble this away. Tomato just walks right under him. That pinch might just be an Valor. I'm so sorry that happened to you.
Wow. Yeah, brutal stuff right here. Confused Irish knows the business though. Solid defense. Back to it. Galaxy solid hit. 4 and Fuzzy Kitten Legs gonna have to beat feet to get back to here to this one, and 4 does. Nicely done.
A lot of back and forth here. Who's gonna pop? Who is gonna break under pressure? Confused Irish puts up a shot on target. 4-4. Taking a little too long to get a touch on that as he sends it down center. Galaxy, Confused Irish. Good communication there. Wouldn't want to see a double commit, especially this late on the offensive side. Galaxy puts shot on target, and you'll love to see it. Once again, Xavier Universities go up by 1.
Nicely done. This is where Xavier's been living thus far. Even if this series does end out 3-0, it's shots like those that will remind us, will ring true in our minds of just how high-flying and competitive this game has been. That's both Xavier University goals, by the way, in this game number 2 here, Flater. That, you know, a centimeter over to the left to the right side. You know, if it's just a little bit farther down to the bottom right in the first one, just a little bit farther to the top left on this most recent one, then it's a different story. But Tomato, you know, they don't all have to be fancy, right? It's more cyclical
Always
Rocket League. That's what we'll call
play for the mist hug.
it.
No matter what rank you're at, Tomato, you know, he follows that with his life with 60 seconds remaining. We got this game all tied up, and a bit of a deja vu coming in here. Fuzzy Kittenlegs might just be willing to take that lead right back. Galaxy is there to save the day. No boost for him, though. 4-4. It's going to send it down, send it over to Tomato, and we do see a lot of whiffs on the defensive side, so I'm not really sure who's going to be walking away with this one.
It's entirely fair. Entirely fair. This is going to be pretty close. Oh, my goodness. A close shot right there. And almost Xavier taking the lead.
Oh, bit of a double commit there on the defense. Valor. All comes down to him. Can he take advantage of the situation? Good shot down center. 50 the way back onto the sidewall. 4-4. Just a lot of 50s coming their way. Valor up in the air. Over to Confused Irish. That could have been the finisher shot. Unfortunately, they'll have to try just a little more harder. And Valor is doing exactly that. He's got it past 2. Fuzzy Kittenlegs out is there to save the day. Galaxy. A miss. Confused Irish cannot get it around. Fuzzy Kittenlegs. He got the dribble. He can pass it down center. Valor gets the save. And we are going to overtime.
Game 2 will be a 3-2 game as well. Round and round we go. Where this stops, where we will have our victors, I do not know. This has been an incredibly close matchup thus far here. The 16th seed Xavier up against the 20th seed Rochester Institute of Technology. 15 seconds in. This has been all RIT in the offense thus far, looking to strike back and tie this series back up.
Man, this has been intense. Who's going to be taking this game? We find out. We got another offensive opportunity coming in from Xavier, so Tomato eliminates out of position. Wait, where's the defense? Hello, boys?
What? Okay, 3-2 the other way, and we have a tied game now. Love to see it. First game goes the way of Xavier, just outside of overtime at a 3-2 scoreline. Game 2 goes down for what? About 30 seconds of overtime. This one goes the other way. RIT going to be taking a game right here and essentially boiling this best of 5 down to a best of 3.
And who else but Tomato getting that demo? You're making sure the teammate gets the goal and the game. Well, Tug, you know, I have to say, man, that one demo, Xavier's completely off guard. Both of the remaining players completely on the other corner side. So, well, RIT is gonna be walking away with that one just like that. Effectively a best of 3 series now. Fuzzy Kittenlegs, you can see him pop off 5 shots on target as compared to the last one, which I believe was somewhere around 1 or 2.
Yeah. Especially given that Xavier only has 7 total attempted shots throughout that entire 5-minute and 34-second game. Kind of tells me everything that I need to know right here when it comes to time of possession, the TOP. Just how long one of these teams possesses the ball and is able to make offensive plays. They say defense wins championships. Well, that's an American football, folks. This is Rocket League, and you got to play in that offensive side. You have to try to get this one. It seems like where Rochester was going forth and having like a single kind of like point man, like a player that is up, that is always trying to get it going offensively. Earlier, they're kind of backing off, not playing as close as they needed to, and that is an issue that was resolved in game number 2.
You know, I absolutely agree. If you're gonna be playing a counter-attacking game from defense, you need to know how to conserve your boost. If not, you're gonna be looking at that 0 bar most of the time in this game, if not all. So you gotta be more careful with the kind of strats that you go for. Offensive strategies definitely needed in a game like Rocket League here. Let's see if Xavier University are able to pull right back into it. Fuzzy Kittenlegs looking to 50 this one down center. Valor still sticks it in the corner. Can he get a 50? Yes, he can. Confused Irish over to Galaxy, rather. Putting up an opportunity for Valor. Can he make something happen? Confused Irish. Everybody trying to set up a shot for their teammate, but it's just a lot of pressure here. Galaxy almost pinches it in. Confused Irish. Gotta respect the effort there. And this is only just first match.
Yeah, I mean, gotta respect the effort. That also came firing across as fast as a bullet right there. The response time from anybody, even if you knew that the pass was coming in, it's going to be super difficult. Nicely done from Galaxy getting up to this one right here. That probably would have hit top bar and go in. No harm, no foul.
No foul yet, but it seems like they're looking to make a goal right here. Tomato, that's a pretty good pass, but the backboard touch is going to give Galaxy the open net he needs to get Xavier University up by 1.
Yeah, that's going to be another Galaxy goal right here. Confused Irish, again, has set up multiple of these, but has not gone through and actually got one of their own thus far. 4 score for Galaxy, 2 scores for Valor. Wait, no, 5 scores for Galaxy, I believe.
Man, one bad read off the backboard is all it takes to lose a goal. That's how consistent these players are, with at least reading the open nets. And let's face it, at some of our ranks, even that is kind of difficult.
That's fair. I mean, again, these players have been playing just almost a tennis match. How fast this ball is going back and forth. Frequently, there's another one, and Valor stretches it out right here for the 7th for the squad.
Hey, consistently making these long open net shots happen. Valor, well, it still goes ahead and does just that. 2-goal lead now for Xavier University. They are right back into this game, breaking all that momentum that RIT brought in it from that game 2. Heading into this game 3, Xaviers are looking mighty strong.
Yeah, 2 minutes into this one, 2 scores here for the side of Xavier. And this is going to be actually kind of weird to say about a 2-score lead, but this is going to be the biggest lead we've seen so far in this matchup.
It just goes, oh my god, confused Irish. How do you make that angle? But, you know, it just goes to show how closely competitive these two teams have been so far. And, you know, speaking of competition, here's Forward bringing some heat onto the other side of the field as he puts the first one on the board for RIT.
Yeah, so that's going to be a perfect pass all the way on the inside. 4 gets it. Tomato got it there. And, yeah, like you were just saying, unsurprised that this is continuing to be an incredibly competitive game. Posturing up to take game number 3 and take the lead back is Xavier University. See how this one goes all the way to the end. See if they make it. I would honestly be very surprised if that 3rd goal there, the 3rd total goal, 2nd for Xavier, was the last one in this match. In this map, excuse me.
Mm-hmm. I mean, you have to respect it, right? Cutting down the lead in half here, even after going down by 2 early on. Gotta respect the kind of effort that we see our right team making. Let's see if they can equalize this game right now. Valor over to the center field. Galaxy, they have an opportunity. Valor steps it away, takes a step back in terms of pace. Fuzzy little would have an opportunity for a touch here, but unfortunately, all of that offense leading to absolutely nothing here for Xavier University, trying to set up more of that, but once again, you know, we see them making mistakes here. Setting up a pass for your own teammates in that position is so risky, and we can see that biting them back, right? Possession completely in favor of RIT at the moment as they try to set up a bit of a pinball action here. Off-shot opportunity on target, saved by Valor, and they're walking and 10 ice here. Xavier University hanging on by a thread.
Just a thread, though. Oh my goodness, so close right there. Xavier manages to keep hold of this lead. 75 seconds left in this one. Lead of 1 can be undone in just a quick second. Yeah, it can technically be undone at 0-0s up top as well, as long as this volleyball situation is held neutral.
Oh boy, gotta be careful with that touch, Valor, which he was. Respected. Here we go, midfield play, back in possession of 4, who sends it right back into nowhere. Still in the midfield. Here we go, Fuzzy the kitten legs. Begin this one up. Has no boost to work with though. Galaxy, bit of a whiff on the corner. Tomato's got the bump. Oh, this could be huge, but Galaxy's there to save the day. And shot opportunity comes in. 4 is there, send it right back onto the sidewall. Fuzzy kitten legs picks it up onto the corner. No 50 for him. 34 seconds left on this clock. One mistake is all it takes here, Tug. Who do you think is going to pull this first one?
Oh, man. Honestly, I think Xavier switches to a more defensive play style. Not necessarily defensive, but just a waste time clock type play style here in a little bit. As it is, for the rest of the Rochester Institute of Technology has just inside double-digit amount of seconds to tie this one back up. A shot over. This might be what's necessary. Oh, no. Heartbreak Hotel has been checked into. Fuzzy Kitten Legs is the sole resident. Brutal. Brutal.
Man. That's a pretty good analogy there of what Fuzzy Kitten is feeling. Unfortunate. Had the opportunity, had the
Huh.
perfect shot, just not accurate enough. RIT, once again, Tug, this was also a one-goal game.
It was. It was. Four with the goal right here. Tomato with the assist. Fuzzy Kitten Legs, 200 points, but actually doesn't get goal, assist, save, shot. Nothing. Not a zilch. Zero. And actually puts that up for the attempted shots here. What this tells me is, again, pace of play is just kind of slowed down here, Flater. Earlier, it was really just whoever maintained the ball, whoever got the most shots would kind of
Mhm.
edge this one out and take an advantage that eventually translated into a lead in an individual map in this best of five. But I think you see it right here. Xavier with 5 shots as evenly distributed as they can get. Rochester, 4 shots, about as evenly as distributed as they can get. Everybody is getting involved in offense, and everybody has been involved in defense.
And here we go. Game point for Xavier University. All they need is one more game to secure the series. And that first goal, it could be pretty useful. A bit of a 2v2 there. Valor, does he take advantage of it? Not so fast. That still has a lot of boost to work with, but that's a double miss. Good job, Valor. There, confused Iris, saying it down center over Galaxy. This is a good save coming in from Fuzzy Little Kittens. Confused Irish. They're going to set this ball up for yet another counter. Valor going off the sidewall. Galaxy doing the exact same thing. A bit of a double commit. However, it doesn't matter. The other team is in their own half, just chilling, waiting for the ball to come to their side. And, sometimes it is one of the better decisions to make. Confused Irish. He's just walking in front of every single car that comes across, like bumping
right.
here. There we go. First minute in. Still Confused Irish there on the ball. Oh, no. He decided to make a break check there, not sure why, but look at the amount of pressure Xavier's making here. Even after all those mistakes, this could still turn into a goal, which it does. It's Confused Cyrus putting that first one on the net.
Yeah, so 60 seconds into this one, the way that Xavier was just shooting at this, I'm honestly surprised it took that long. A lead Xavier has in this game number 3. Game number 4. A lead in the series Xavier has, a 2-1 series score.
Wow, really? You coming up with that on the spot? That's pretty good. And you know what else is good? That flick. Oh, it was not the perfect one, but it's close enough. You want to see more of that coming in from RIT if they want to make this comeback. Confused Irish getting that demo, giving more space to his team, and that is exactly what matters here. Fuzzy Kitten Legs trying to set up an attack in the corner. Still stealing the boost, so trying to maintain possession. 4-4 is doing the exact opposite of it. Valor takes it right back. Confused Irish reads the play. Shot opportunity. Sends it into the corner. Demo attempt comes to fruition. Galaxy double touch. Valor second touch. No perfect shot. Tomato with the save. Confused Irish off the backboard. No double touch for him. Fuzzy Kitten Legs comes in with a save. Ah, what a fake coming in from Galaxy there. And all of this has happened in the last 60 seconds. Valor looking to pick this one up right back. Good 50 coming in from Fuzzy Kitten Legs there. Reads the play to his advantage. Half the game remaining. Almost half the game remaining. RIT looking to equalize this one as Tomato takes the first goal.
The Tomato right here, evening this one up about 24 seconds outside of halftime. Again, classic Rocket League. It's Tomato that actually gets this one in. It's Fuzzy Kitten Legs that basically births this goal from their loins. Set up everything right there and got it past multiple different defending players. 2 minutes, 50 seconds left in this game.
All right, I got some beef to pick up with Munch 10 there in the Twitch chat. What do you mean Irish never fails to disappoint? Have you seen this man play with the bumps? Have you seen this man play presence? This is the kind of teammate I want in Rocket League that I can never get.
Yeah, like just the physical player, right? Not sure what they're complaining about, but hey, Twitch chat's gonna Twitch chat, right? Outside of halftime now. 2 minutes, 22 seconds left. Shot attempted completely blocked by Confused Irish. Solid shot right there.
Pretty solid indeed, but it's not going to give them a goal, Tug. And as if you're RIT, you need that pressure. You need that pressure so you can try to set up a counter-attack. Here we see 4-4 looking to set up an opportunity for Tomato. And Tomato has been silent for a little while. We want to see more of that physical play come into action from him. 4-4 once again on the ball. Looking to be a little speedy with this one as he tries to dribble this right back. Galaxy, just steps in and takes it right back on his own side. Possession opportunity for confused Irish. Looking for that bump. Oh, Galaxy has a shot and he takes it. And once again, it's confused Irish. Look at him. Look at this man. He just made sure that Fuzzy Legs, he was shaken up. He was shaken up there. He couldn't have jumped early. He could have gotten bumps. This is the teammate that I need. Sign me up, Irish.
Yeah, 100%. And maybe not a player that's getting all 9 shots or something like that. 9 goals themselves. 9 goals being 3, 7, 10 goals, excuse me, so far for this Xavier University squad across these 4 games. Obviously, game 4 not over with yet, but still, the simple fact that they're setting these up, and they're infrequently going to actually get it awarded within game because the game only gives assists based on based on who touched the ball last. A Rule 1 in goal, in orange goal right here. Fuzzy Kitten Legs and opponent Valor, I believe, actually respecting the game. You love to see it. You love to see it.
Absolutely. 60 seconds here. How long are they going to respect it? Oh, pretty long enough for Galaxy to double the current lead. Tomato a little impatient with that touch off the corner. Pretty unlucky as well. And Galaxy puts a bullet of a shot on target. It's a 2-goal lead now for Xavier University.
I gotta say, huge shout out that Rochester Institute of Technology player engaged in the Rule 1. We've all been there before. You want to just immediately flip into this ball, actually get the block, but respecting the most original rule of Rocket League is paramount always. Big shout out. It might feel like a loss in this game. It should not overall. For what shall it profit a man to gain the world to use their own soul later? Lose their own soul.
Oh man. Gotta cast with you more, Tug.
I'm being dramatic enough.
I'm learning so many more things about just life rather than even Rocket League.
Oh, actually, I think that's actually a Bible verse. I can't exactly remember, but who knows? 20 seconds away from the ultimate demise, at least for the week, of the Rochester Institute of Technology. Double score is gonna be hard. Gonna be real hard. If it's gonna happen, it has to happen right now, though. Nope, not gonna let her.
Oh, Galaxy, double touch off the backward. Oh, he almost gets it. But I believe that's going to be the end of the road for this particular game. Best of 5 series. 3-1 in favor of Xavier University. And, wow. Both of these teams are playing phenomenally well there. RIT trying to bring this one back here in this game. But Xavier University did have their number. They figured out what kind of possession plays they have been going for. And they played ball.
Wow, yeah, play ball is a fair way to describe that one, Flater. This is, hey, you know what? Actually, I feel pretty vindicated, right? I called it 3-1 scoreline in the series here for Xavier, but I said it was going to be close. Let me read off these scores for you folks. Game number 1, game numero uno, is Xavier 3-2, a game that almost went down to overtime. Game 2, speaking of overtime, shows its face there. Rochester Institute of Technology takes down game number 2 at a 3-2 score line into overtime as well, about 35 seconds into overtime. Xavier University comes flying back 2-1 score line in game 3, and then a 3-1 score line in game 4. The biggest score difference we've actually seen in this series is just 2. Just 2.
And, that concludes this meaning. Xavier University just a little more adaptable than the opposite side of team. But stay tuned for just a little while longer. We got an interview coming right up before the next game.
Oh, yeah.
I'm here and I'm feeling exaggerated, that's what you assume. The story's over now, I must conclude.
Hello, welcome back. Little post-game interview action coming at you, folks, here after the Xavier win over the Rochester Institute of Technology. Again, that was a 3-1 scoreline. We got Valor here. Valor on the horn with us to kind of give us a slice of the mind post-game. Valor, you with us?
Yes, sir.
Gotcha. So, quick question here. I wanted to ask, did you see this scoreline going down, or did you see this game, excuse me, going down with the scoreline? Not sure. Obviously, you're playing. You're probably not watching, but I actually predicted it. I predicted it perfectly. I said Xavier University in 4.
Okay. Yeah. We didn't know exactly how things were going to go because we know Rochester's changed as well as far as rosters go, and we did as well. We've been going through a little bit of changes to that. One of our guys didn't know when his night class was, so that was nice. So we lost him at the last second. But no, it was good. It was glad to get back. Good start.
Absolutely.
I
Absolutely.
got a few questions for you. What happened after that one game loss? Like, what went on? What went on in your head as team captain? How do you bring your team right back into the game?
Yeah, I honestly, with all those games, the goals we conceded were pretty minor mistakes. Just more. Um, I guess the focus after that was just keeping the mental good because, yeah, again, they were just kind of silly mistakes that we just shouldn't be making. So,
And I got a bit of a personal question. What do you think about your teammate Irish?
Irish, he's a great player. You know, his brother is here a few years ago in Satisfied Onion. So that
Oh,
was when
hey, that's cool.
yeah,
Sorry.
we recruited him. No, yeah, brought him in, saw some talent, of course. You know, no, he's a great player. It's good to have him with us.
Absolutely, love to see
Generational
it.
talent, dude. Generational
Absolutely.
Oh
talent,
yeah.
right? I love it. The two different brothers, and yeah, and obviously, yeah, I remember Satisfied Onion. Been working with EG. Oh man, I think I've been in the EGF like 7 semesters or something like that now. Crazy stuff. Well, what's it? So, Flater would have hadn't asked about Irish. Teammate Galaxy. This is a player. How does your role fit in to correlation with Galaxy? How do you two work together best here, Valor?
Yeah, Galaxy, I've been kind of taking him in as a prodigy since he came in freshman year, right?
Yeah.
I'm being a senior now. He's sophomore, I guess. Um, but yeah, we've been working together a lot, playing a lot offline, like non-competitive setting, I guess, ranked or whatever. Um, and I think our best synergy is definitely in the offensive end. I like to dish it out to him when I can. He's a good striker. It could be better, you know. Um,
Can't we
but
all?
yeah, no, we all can. So, but no, he's good too. Great.
Love to hear it. Love to hear it. Before we get you on out of here and get this next matchup, that's going to be Butler and Northern Arizona, folks. Want to ask if you have any shout outs, Valor?
Yeah, the club as always. Again, it's still growing substantially. We just became I can't remember if I mentioned this in my last interview, but we just became an official club sport at Xavier now, so we get a little bit more
Ooh, there you
funding.
That's
go.
awesome.
Yeah, it's good stuff happening here. So
That's what it's all about. That's what it's all about. Dollar bills, y'all. Dollar bills. Unfortunately, the EGFC does not award dollar bills for regular season matches. You're going to have to get on to the playoffs for that one there, Valor. But
for
hey,
sure.
congratulations, sir, once again
Appreciate
on the victory. And we'll have you here again if your team wins. If your team doesn't win, we only have winners in the interview box, okay?
it. Got it.
Thank you, Valor. We'll hopefully see you again soon, okay?
Yep. Thanks, guys.
That has been your Xavier University and Rochester Institute of Technology matchup. This was a Xavier University win at 3-1. We'll close the books on that for right now. Short break, guys. Unless Flater has something else for you folks before we go to a short break.
We shall be right back.
Gotcha. Again, Butler and Northern Arizona when we return.
It's time, racing all these broken dreams tonight.
Excellence in education. But standing for something doesn't mean standing still. It means moving forward with innovative ideas that are transforming how we teach. It means experiential learning and fields that create in-demand graduates. It means cultivating not only minds, but
welcome back a man Flater, FBI Tugboat, and yeah, I need to rectify mistakes. Excuse me. We would not be doing this. We would just be two guys screaming about esports, Flater and I, without a production staff. That is Paz over here on the ones and twos, I believe they say in the DJing world, but making this production completely possible and bringing it to you guys. We really appreciate Paz and making our jobs as casters just so much easier. Looking at this next one, Butler University. That is the 4-2 Butler Dogs taking on the currently undefeated Northern Arizona University Lumberjacks. That's Louis the Lumberjack. Their mascot there, Flater.
Learn something new every day, man.
That you do. That you do. That's the English Bulldog Butler Louis. Louis is the fourth one, their mascot, and the Lumberjacks on the other side. But yeah, like I said, 6-0 versus 4-2. We just came off of a Xavier University, Xavier 2-2, now 3-2. Rochester Institute of Technology 1-5, now 1-6. After that, 3-1 victory there for Xavier. Decently even seeds, and now we got the number 2 seed versus the I just had it. I'm sorry. Versus the
number.
Where's it at? 10. 2
There
versus 10. So a little bit of a different score lines for these two squads and seeding placements definitely. But Butler takes this, goes 5-2. Arizona drops 6-1. Those score lines, those win-loss records are not that different.
Yep. And, I guess just time will tell who comes out on top. Butler University, like you said, on a bit of coming in as a bit of the underdogs here, facing up the undefeated champions, Northern Arizona University. Going to be on the completely different spectrum of these standings. So it's going to be pretty exciting to see the kind of mechanics that we get to see here.
Yes, University of Montana versus Montana State University. After this one, this best of 5 starting in just a couple of seconds. No, started just a couple of seconds ago. Excuse me.
Oh man, and in these last couple of seconds, I have seen NAU pull off 2 different shots on target. So maybe I get why they're at the top seat there.
Yeah, only second as of right now to that Northern squad, to that University of Cincinnati over there in Ohio. Butler coming out of Indiana as of right now. I'll let you guys guess where the Northern Arizona University College is located.
Man, that's such a difficult guess. Why you gotta make this so hard for us? Let me guess. Is it in Arizona?
You can get back to us with your guess if you'd like to, Flater, if you need to think about it. Yes, yes, Arizona. It's Arizona right there. Castillo, KJ, and Corona. It's not Corona. I always say this one wrong. Chronicle. Excuse me. Chronicle.
A little bit of a back and forth here. We got NAU spending most of the time on the blue side here, so a little bit of a walk in the park for them so far. Chronicle, here he is on the midfield, good 50 to center right back in the blue corner. Kai decides to go for the boost there, not sure why, but hey, as long as it works, don't mess it up, but I don't think it worked.
Yeah, Chronicle right here. This is going to be a nice setup there from KJ. Friday doesn't really succeed in getting anything done, but putting that up right there for the opposing side. Northern Arizona striking first.
Northern Arizona applying so much pressure in that last minute, finally getting that 1-goal lead after breaking that defense, and it all came down to a panic attack coming in from Friday there. Decides to give the ball away right into the opponent's hands, who put a bullet of a shot on target. Kai looking to set up a play here. Oh, almost gets scored on. KJ pass opportunity taken away as Friday decides to take us just a little while longer. Castillo. Ooh, I mean, dude, you love to see this kind of coordination. Everybody's playing so fast from the Northern Arizona University. It's so difficult to read these plays.
2 minutes into this one. Yeah, no, I hear you. Like, this has really just been back and forth and just kind of Butler trying to get out of their defensive side so far. Morales and the rest of Butler really gotten their work cut out for them. Now, finally, a little bit of a run. Morales almost puts this one on board. Nicely done. A solid offensive start for the Butler University side.
No, they're finally getting into the game here. They're finally trying to get into this group, trying to understand what the other team is about, what kind of shots they pull off here, what kind of strategies they're implementing. And, so far from what I'm observing, Northern Arizona University focuses solely on constant offensive pressure. Take away the boost and make sure they are on their knees before you put another one on target.
Ooh, 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 almost. That's going to be top bar and out on that one. Top bar giveth, top bar taketh away.
We got KJ once again putting the threads here, setting us back onto the blue corner. Morales doing all he can to pull out of his own half, but Castillo denies him that opportunity. KJ pass down center. Kai sends it right back for the intercept. Castillo, good save, picks up the boost. No touch for him though. Morales, good one touch. Second touch to send it down center, but the team is miles away before they could put an offensive shot on target. Here's Kai. They're going to make something happen with that double touch. Morales doing the exact same thing. Oh, the bump could have been useful, but Chronicle decides to walk away with this one. KJ, good read off the backboard as it bounces right back onto the midfield. Chronicle decides to go up high. Friday's even higher. KJ, side wall read from Castillo. Good touch by KJ, an even better one from Kai, leading us into the last 60 seconds of this game. First goal still very much in favor of Northern Arizona.
Nicely done there from Castillo, reading the offender right there and making sure to go for the bump and not necessarily always be ball chasing. Love to see it. Love to see it. Friday across the middle right now. An attempted pass over to Morales. A back pass. It was indeed Friday getting a pass accepted of their own. Now Kai from the top. That's not even played, and that's going to be decently centered. Butler beaten feet the other way. Top bar out again, and a double tap. The triple tap coming up right here, but not going to be enough.
Oh, Chronicle isn't ready for this one. No, he is not. Morales, what a hook shot on target. So many misses coming in from Northern Arizona University. The constant offense comes back to bite them as they get too ahead of themselves in terms of momentum, and just like that, Butler University, they tie it off.
That's a really, really good point, actually. We'll kind of cover that after this game has actually finished. Right now, this is anybody's game to take. Another shot and another miss from Northern Arizona. I gotta say, it's not playing like the number 2 seed undefeated squad that we have seen thus far in the EGFC.
No, not in these last 2 minutes. Absolutely not. They came here with guns blazing, but so far haven't been a bit of a silent showing. And as I say that, Chronicle comes in and is like, "Shut up, casters. I got this, okay? Watch this. A quick touch there. 50 off Kai, putting it into the back of the net and taking game 1 easy. Not even trying."
There's 10 seconds now. As we know, lead of 1 is no great lead indeed in the great game of Rocket League. Now that's going to be a second, and probably, that's probably going to be enough now.
Yeah, and it's, of course, Chronicle once again coming in. Not really good enough. Maybe this one is just going to be doing just fine. A kickoff goal, extremely unfortunate for Butler University there. You have to commend the kind of mechanical plays that Butler has brought into this game. It's really unfortunate to see them pulling down into shreds here in these last few seconds. I'm not sure anything much else can be done as the ball drops down. Game number 1 will be going to Northern Arizona.
Yeah, so this game pretty much played at a dead standstill, 0-0. One score gets answered immediately by the second one to tie this one back up. This basically just comes down to the last, I think it was like 24 seconds or 33 seconds or something like this for Northern Arizona to have gotten both of those in. All 3 come in the way of Chronicle as well, so really we see the main striker of this squad. I want to kind of hark back to what we were talking about that 35 seconds or so in. It's always interesting to talk about how you play time in Rocket League, right? At what point and like how much chronological resource, how much time when you have left do you change to a more like, hey, kind of keep away type situation, not necessarily a full defensive stance, but kind of a keep away type situation. Northern Arizona is up 1-0. With like double-digit seconds left, and they're still just always chasing, always pushing everything else. If Chronicle hadn't clutched up with these 2 in the last like 24 seconds or something like this, we'd still be watching this overtime, and that is not a situation that Northern Arizona either want to be or have found themselves to be in many times in the EGFC series season.
Right, and you know, we've seen both sides of the coin there. We have seen a team, you know, after taking a comfortable lead, they sit back and relax. They try to play defense. That doesn't work out for them, and or they just go on to the other side, as we see right now. Northern Arizona getting a little too ahead of themselves there on the offensive side. But the good thing is they were able to bring it right back with the little time that they had, and that is what adaptability is all about.
Exactly. Adaptability, malleability, the ability to adapt to change. That is what Rocket League players have used to really provide benefit in the past. We'll do that one again. Now, speaking of changes, let me ask you, what does Butler University need to do to take this game number 2 and tie this series back up?
I mean, they just gotta play exactly how they've been playing so far. We've seen them matching their speed, and you know, matching speed. If that's what has been getting you goals, then so be it. Do the exact same thing again. Make sure that Northern Arizona doesn't run away with your boost. You gotta maintain the pace of your game. Otherwise, against mechanical players like NAU, you're gonna be steamrolled over if you don't decide to match that pace.
Speaking of right there, that's a nice defensive block there from KJ Castillo, beating feet down to try and hop into this offensive stance right quick. Chronicle, the main striker, 3 scorers in the last game, only scorers there for Northern Arizona University.
Oh, he's trying to set up something here for his team. KJ trying to be as big of a nuisance as possible, right? Even after failing that counterattack, it doesn't matter. You got to stick around for just a little while longer, and that gives your teammates time to recover and set up yet another attack. As we see Chronicle heading right back on the offensive side. Friday takes it to the corner, but no possession play for him though. As off the backboard it goes. KJ with a shot on target, bottom right corner, and the first goal goes to NAU.
Yes, unsurprised with the sustained offensive pressure that NAU was able to get throughout the first minute and 10 seconds of this game here. 3-1 was the scoreline from game 1. That's exactly the same kind of situation that we saw. Sustained offensive pressure, and it really showed when it came down to looking at those shots attempted.
It's really interesting to see how that one touch on defense from Friday off the corner resulted in a goal. You know, how everything just comes toppling down. So if they can get that consistency right, if they just keep thinking about the kind of clears that they're making, they gotta have them, they gotta make those clears with intent, right? Otherwise, NAU is gonna be walking away with every single clear, and that just piles up tons and tons of pressure against you.
It's just eventually pressure will crush. Now, pressure also creates diamonds, though, Flater. It's not something we should forget so quickly. See how that goes. The double demo right here. Castillo takes out not one, but two. 2 birds, 1 stone. Double head shot, whatever you want to call it. We're now going to be introducing these players back on the game after a couple of seconds of timeout.
Here we go, NAU trying to keep possession for as long as possible. Castillo takes it up high off the backboard. Good read there. Morales with an even better one as he sends it right back on the midfield. Chronicle gets the demo there, putting us in a 2v3 spot. NAU, however, on a bit of a back foot as we see Morales spending a lot of time on the other side, trying to make them as uncomfortable as possible. And that has led to Butler University finding some space to work with, and that demo could be it for the first goal. Chronicle comes in with a save though, as we still see that 1 goal lead for NAU sticking around.
Yeah, we saw kind of how that was going, how that play was unfolding, and that's exactly how Kai plays this one. This just happens to be like a couple pixels too tall, hits crossbar on the, or hits top bar, excuse me, and then defender is able to get a hand on it at that point. Kai with a double tap up aerially as well, tries to get this one down to the teammate. Not going to happen so easily. Friday just gets absolutely crowded right there, like it's a bank closing. On Friday, get it? Okay.
A minute 50 remaining there, and we still got the NAU sticking around with that 1 goal lead. Chronicle, there he is in the corner. Morales sends it right back on the midfield. Friday, that's a good touch. Kai, that's an even better one. And what better way to equalize this game number 2 here as Kai was the first goal for Butler University.
Yeah, why am I not surprised that Kai finally does get one in? This is a player that was not going to be denied for forever. They were doing everything offensively, a lot of passes, a lot of physical play too, like we were talking about earlier. I believe that was Confused Irish, that really physical player, Xavier University in game match number 1. Now it's definitely this player for Butler.
Oh, there he is up once again. Friday, good save.
Okay.
And just like that, a demo is all it takes. Castillo says, I'm going to come back with a physical play of my own. And man, oh man, did it matter.
Kai, Friday, both getting front row seat to that goal. Chronicle with another one. Northern Arizona University has been playing it fast and loose. Looks like it might be about to pay off again.
We got still 60 seconds here. Butler University can't just give up just yet. See Friday looking to set up a pass from Morales. No second touch for him though. Gets eliminated from the field. KJ looking to take a shot on target. Friday off the backboard. Oh, good bump there on from Chronicle. Can he get the shot? No, he can't. It's just so much pressure being applied by Butler University, and yet it still amounts to nothing at the moment. NAU heads right back onto the offensive side, and they need to work so much harder to send them onto the offense. Morales on the midfield, a good first touch. No second one for him. KJ, oh, that's a pretty good one. Castillo's not even ready for it himself as he's the last man back. Kai tries to keep possession, gives it away right back to Castillo. Friday off the ceiling. Does he have the second touch? No, he doesn't. 20 seconds remaining here. Butler University, if you gotta make this goal happen, you gotta make it now.
13 seconds to go right here. Oh, looking dangerous for a second, but Castillo completely cuts the head off of that opportunity. 6 seconds to go. And again, in case you're just new to Rocket League, once this hits triple zeros, we will have a kind of volleyball type situation where the ball cannot hit the ground, and it does. That's Northern Arizona in game number 2. At an even closer scoreline. It was 3-1 in game number 1, now 2-1 game number 2.
Oh, look at the confidence on Castillo. He says, you know what? EST ain't that bad after all, even after just a 1-goal difference here. Gotta respect the sportsmanship, rather, excuse me, or the confidence on Castillo. Oh, either of those, but, you know, pretty much good.
Yeah, so 5 total shots here for your Northern Arizona University squad. That's the Lumberjacks again. Butler with 6. Wait, no, excuse me. Math is hard. 5 for both of these 2 teams. Neither, and I think that is again kind of reflecting of what we were saying during the game, that this is a decently even-handed game. Nobody really had like a crazy time of possession like Northern Arizona enjoyed in the first game here. I would not be surprised. I would not be surprised either way. Right, I would not be surprised if Northern Arizona takes game number 3 at a decently close scoreline and then closes out the series. I would also not be surprised if Butler kind of continues on this education of their Northern Arizona team, just getting to know this team right here and learning a lot about them, and then uses what they've learned to turn game 3 into the beginnings of a reverse sweep.
Hey, that's the plan here for Butler. You have played 10 minutes of gameplay against such an overly mechanical team. How do you use that against them? It all comes down to this. Leads last 5 minutes. Now or never for Butler University. Always have to show up on these exact situations. Friday, decent save. Kai picks it up high. No second touch for him though. And you know, we have talked about this before. You gotta make those second touches happen, because against a team like NAU, once they get possession, it's very difficult to take it back from them. And you know, they're learning. And they just outperformed.
Nicely done. This comes off the back of a Friday demo as well. This hit right here into the hit on the okay, no, excuse me. KJ just completely missed that one. The demo did come, but wasn't necessarily affecting one way or another of this first goal. Butler now strikes first. Love to see it.
Hey, what did I tell you about the follow-ups? Friday, pretty good with following that first shot up. And now onto the second one. Kai, good shot. KJ, better save. Who comes out on top with the possession play? It's Castillo, sending us into the corner. A lot of boost to work with to set up his team, which he does. Morales there to save the day. No possession play for him as Chronicle sends it right back on the midfield. KJ looking to set this one up for his teammate. The third man looking to get this ball going onto the blue net, and there it is. Chronicle getting the first goal for NAU.
Wow, from half pitch as well. They're going to have to throw some extra postage on that one next time to make sure it gets there. Castillo actually looked like a little bit dangerous right there. Kind of looked like some of my ranked partners, right? You know, my shots up there on point. They just have to get that little tappy tap at the end to actually get the credit for it. Castillo does not, realizes the situation that they are in, backs off, and goes to play the defender, and that's going to be the first for Northern Arizona and the tying factor here in game number 3.
All tied up, and we're only 1 minute and 20 seconds in. What happens next? Morales Well, he started off this kickoff with applying some pressure on the Northern Arizona side with Castillo. He decides, oh, Castillo?
Okay.
All right, okay. You know what? I respect that. A little bit of an individual spicy play there couldn't hurt for NAU. They try to make it work, but against a team like Butler University, it is very difficult to make these impossible individual plays come into fruition. Morales, on the other hand, as I say, that looks to do the exact same thing. Doesn't turn out very much surprised. Oh, double demo. Chronicle and Castillo still cannot beat Kai, though, who's quick as a bolt of lightning on that shadow defense challenge. Kai, once again, a boomer of a shot onto the backboard. Can he get the second touch? No, denied by Castillo. And with half the game remaining here, almost half the game remaining, we're still all tied up.
Yeah, so Butler knows that they are down right here. They lose this game, they are out of the series. It would feel great to take at least one game off, and Morales purchases that situation, or at least gets a little bit closer to it. 2 minutes, 44 seconds, and Butler takes the lead.
Oh, unfortunate touch from Castillo there, but a good read from Kai. Decides to challenge early, forces the pass, and the intercept is just as good as it can get. Butler, once again, up in the lead. Can they maintain it? Can they increase it? We'll find out soon enough. Butler University, once again, off to a great start here. KJ on the defensive side, sending us from one corner to the other, but Morales has something to say for himself. Midfield possession play for Friday. Hands on the ball, wheels on the ball, they're taken away, denied by KJ. Chronicle keeping possession for just a little while longer as he sends it right back, rolling into the blue corner. KJ, no touch for him, and it seems like, you know, we see NAU trying to get that pace back up as we saw them in the last 2 games, but they're struggling.
That's a decent little bounce. Of course, there's a defender on the other side, but we take those when they talk about offensive opportunities. KJ right there. It's a perfect defensive stop. A defensive stop that would have put this game a little bit farther out of reach. Again, score difference of 1 undone all the time. Score difference to 2 is called the insurance policy for a reason, Flater.
Absolutely, and oh my god. They almost got the equalizer. NAU are being a monstrosity on the offensive side. It's only a matter of time before they end up scoring at this point. Finally breaking out of that shell. Morales, here he is, setting up a play for the opponent's side. We got another opportunity for a shot on target, denied by the backboard. Kai, no pass from him. Friday sticks around for a little while longer. Morales could have gone up for that. There was no harm in not going up for that one. You got nothing to lose. Only a 1-goal deficit here, and make it 0.
Wow.
As NAU bring it right back. Castillo, little shot on target.
There's the Castillo with the Denzel Washington. That's the equalizer, Flater. 1-2-2 right now. 64 seconds left in this one. Once again, Northern Arizona takes this game 3. Okay, I was about to say, this is going to be a lot harder if Morales gets an off-kickoff goal, but 60 seconds left in this one. And Butler University facing some stout offense right now.
NAU, last 50 seconds. What do you think is the mindset of these players right now? You know, we get it, right? They have scored on this team before, but you know, making sure making that final step across the finish line sometimes can be the most difficult and challenging task. And you know, it's become just like that. Butler University almost got the goal there, but NAU, they make it look so easy. Here's TJ with a bit of a long shot on target, and that's gotta hurt. That is gotta hurt if you're Butler.
Yeah, that's the first nail in the coffin, possibly the last, but we have a classic 30-second drill right here, right? Down by 1, you know, 9-10, 1-0, doesn't matter. 2-3 is the scoreline right now. The score difference is all that matters. Got to get offensive, and got to get offensive quick.
Kai, reads your mind there, but that's a huge whiff on the offensive side. Giving away possession with just this little time left is not the best idea. Morales makes the same mistake twice before sending us onto the midfield. Friday using all the boost he has to set up a pass here. Kai doing the exact same thing, but Chronicle just walks in and stomps on everybody's dream, because all he needs to do now is put this ball down, which he does. Northern Arizona State University, well, I think it's just Northern Arizona University, gets this game in 3.
Wow. So it's such a classic thing for Castor to say that, you know, the series scoreline does not belie just how close this series was. But To be fair, I really think that that does describe this game. 1-3 in game number 1 right there. Northern Arizona takes this with 2. 1-2 in game number 2. Northern Arizona squeaks that one by, if I may say so. Game number 3, the highest scoring of these 3 games, 3-2 scoreline. Butler does drop in the last. Again, it was exactly 30 seconds left, right? They'd given up the second of 2 in a row, and that was going to be enough. Northern Arizona University is 6-0 for a reason. I gotta say, just based on like on paper performance, right? What is expected coming into this favored team, underdogs, whatever else. On paper, it's expected for Northern Arizona to take this by a little bit more of a scoreline of than one. Two of these games. Crazy stuff.
Well, so a decent showing coming in from Butler University. They're coming in as the 10th seed, going up against the second one, and having all the games as pretty close. But Northern Arizona always coming out on top in these 3 games. After a short little break, we're going to be having one of the members from Northern Arizona here in the interview booth with us. So stay tuned. Don't go anywhere.
You can call me killer, 'cause I'll bring you to the light. And it might taste bitter when you're answering to God. You can call me killer as you look into my eyes. Nothing but a sinner. You won't get away this time. 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 Won't get away this You won't get away. You can call me killer, 'cause I'll bring you to the light. And it might taste bitter when you're inside.
Hello and welcome back. A short break it was indeed. FBI Tugboat with my man Flater, and we got here from your Northern Arizona University. We got Castillo. Castillo, you with us?
I'm here. How's everybody doing?
I'm doing pretty well. Doing pretty well. I also did not just come off of a 3-0 victory over the side of Butler University, but I'm still doing pretty well. I appreciate you asking. Let's hop into this game. Kind of break it down a little bit. I will ask you a similar question that I asked the Rochester, excuse me. No, it was the Xavier University. Man, oh man, it's been a long day. The Xavier University player. Did you see this going down, maybe series wise, but more like scoreline wise? You guys won by 2 in game 1, one in game 2, and by a score difference of 1 in game 3. Did you see this happening?
I saw the sweep happening. I didn't really see us, like going 8-0, but I definitely saw it being close. But yeah, I did see us going all the way.
Gotcha. Flater?
Yeah, I want to ask, except for the University of Cincinnati, who do you think can be your biggest challengers here in the entire seat?
I'm excited to play UT Arlington, and also
Mhm.
we have a big rivalry against Montana
Yep.
because it's
Oh,
usually us and them. So I think we
Mhm.
play them later in the schedule. So I'm excited for that game.
well, we have that game coming up right next, so you might want to stick around for a little while longer, see how they've been doing after that short little 2-month break. But I got another question for you. What do you think are your team flaws? What do you think they could work on more to be an even better roster?
Our team.
Yeah.
I think we just need to work on, honestly, just confidence in our own abilities. I feel like
Mhm.
we're really good at playing as a team, um, and sometimes that means we sacrifice opportunities of being selfish that lead to a goal in exchange for passing to a less opportunistic opportunity.
Got it.
You hear that? Week 14, by the way, Northern Arizona University and the University of Montana. So we'll be sure to tune
Ooh.
in then as well. Let's see. Oh, I want to ask Louis the Lumberjack. Is that correct?
Yes, that's correct.
Louis the Lumberjack. Tell me what you know about Louis the Lumberjack. I'm curious.
I know that he's our mascot. I know that we have a big statue of him in North Campus of him shirtless holding an axe. And I could not tell you the significance of him being a lumberjack other than the fact that we're surrounded by trees.
Yep.
Lots of
There you
trees.
go. That's Arizona for you, or many parts of Arizona as well. Let's see. Yeah, that's going to be about it here. I want to ask if you have any shout outs before we get you on out of here and get the University of Montana and Montana State University up next on broadcast.
Yeah, shout out my teammates, KJ Chronicle, shout out my family, and shout out NAU Esports on Instagram, Twitter, yada yada.
There you go. You heard it here first, folks. Castio, thank you for coming on in and give us a minute of your time after the game.
Yep, thanks for having me.
Not a problem. Not a problem. Back to it, folks. Yeah, this was a 3-0 victory, even though the score differences were not massive between Butler University and Northern Arizona University. Yeah, Northern Arizona University improved to 7-0, whereas Butler drops to a little bit closer to that even 500, that 4-3 Flater.
Just inching closer to that equalizer. But I'm really excited about this next game because they said they got a bit of a rivalry going on. I want to see how these two teams do up against a lot of other teams. Set up that excitement for that upcoming matchup.
Exactly, the interstate rivalry in Montana there between Montana and Montana State in just a minute, guys. Short break. We'll be back with you in a minute.
We got millions of reasons to let it all go. Hope we're not too broke.
Hello and welcome back, EGFC fans. FBI Tugboat, Flater here casting. We got Paz down there producing away and making our jobs as casters just so much easier. Now, folks, we got Montana University versus the Montana State University squad coming in just a little bit. This is a 3-3 Montana U squad taking on a 2-4 Montana State University squad.
And scoreline on the stats, it's pretty close. We got 3-3 for the U Montana, and Montana State's 2-4. So a chance for Montana State to redeem themselves and for U Montana to move forward from that equalizer.
Yes, once again, the interstate rivals here coming in. The battle for Montana starting in just a little bit. And to celebrate the battle for Montana, we got a couple interesting Montanese. Okay, I'm with
Let's
it.
go for Montanese.
Some Montanese. I like that. Montanese facts. Montana has the only grizzly bear population in the lower 48 United States.
And what I find out, it's one of the it's one of the few states that have grizzly bears in America.
Makes sense. We both went with the grizzly bear fact. I like it. Taking a look, Struck and the rest of this Montana State University squad. Really trying to get this one going earlier. Pro Hees, Montana State puts this one up, but A's is going to be able to put this one in the corner. Solid shot from teammate. That's Oki Finn. Not quite going to make it in, though.
Ooh, 30 seconds in. Nothing coming in from either of the sides so far. Hikru here on the defensive side, looking to get this ball off at his own half as quickly as possible. Struck. Little boost to his name. Can't do much with the ball there. Chef is going to pick this one right up. Denied opportunity is OK Finn. Gets him out of the way. Struck. Here he is, controlling the ball here. That's the plan. Maintaining the pace of this game. That all comes down with having a possession. And neither of these teams have been able to maintain possession for more than a few seconds.
Well, they have not. What is shaken out so far to be pretty even-handed battle for Montana has definitely given us that thus far. Dead even right now is Montana University at 3-3 on the series or season win-loss record. 2-4 for Montana State University. Both of them looking not to go any farther negative.
Absolutely. Neither universities would want that, especially coming in after the 2-month break. You know, we got that practice and all that warm. The scrims have been happening between all the universities, so everybody's feeling good about their new roster. Trying to get everything set up here. 2 minutes in. No goals for either side here. AC though. Hey crew. Shot on target. Denied by the defense. Okay, Finn. No boost to his name, but look at the kind of momentum that this man has preserved for such a long time. Being a nuisance for quite a while there in AC. Almost put a shot on target. Struck with a save, and Prose follows sweet. We see Hikru with save there. No follow-up for him though, as we see OK Finn going up high with nothing in contact with this car. Half the game gone here, and you love to see this kind of aggression from both of these teams.
Yeah, half the game one of at least 3 gone, no scores, but not for lack of trying. Not for lack of trying at all. AZ right here goes for the double tap, and they're both just a little bit too high. Oh my god. Oki Finn tries on the other side, but to no avail. High Crew puts this one up and over. AZ very, very grateful this player was here, trying to put this one up, back to the outside after a backboard dribble. Not going to happen. AZ has Struck's number, demos them, and sends them back to respawn for just a second. The double commit on defense. Oh my god. This ball lives there for a while, and still nothing on the scoreboard.
Not yet, but you know, I see this aggression coming in from both sides, and it's like, and the goal's near. The goal is near, and might just be Montana coming in with this one. Montana State struggling a little, trying to get out of their own half. All right, there it is. Finally, Chef bringing it so into the corner he goes. We got Struck. Good angle there. Denied completely by OK Finn. As he sends it down, send it over to Hikru. Back into the corner, and just a lot of ping pong action here coming in from both of these teams.
Ping pong continues. High Crew likes the game. Sends this one over to the middle, and this one is just going to be a little bit too close for comfort for Montana State and Pro Hees. Back on over to the middle. High Crew meets this one mid-pitch, sends it flying back to the right corner right there until Struck has something to say about it. Oki Finn puts in the corner, buying the team a little bit of time. Rotate, pick up boost, and get inside there. Chef wins this one with a tasty shot to the left side to keep this one up cornered. Not going to matter. Montana State still trying, struggling, fighting to maintain possession and actually get an offensive shot out.
Oh, 40 seconds remaining here. This could be it. Finn doesn't connect with the ball, and neither does Hikru as he hits the backboard in there. Oh my god, 3 backboards in a row.
Oh my god.
And
that's yeah,
still counting.
The 5th one technically, I guess, kind of like a side post type sideboard, but still, 3 of those 5 incredibly close.
Oh, this could be it. No, denied as early as in the bud. AZ keeps possession. He got no boost on his tank though, so OK Finn might have to do the work for him. The ball's about to drop down. 0-second goal could be coming in from Hikru. AZ. Oh my god. The one shot that was on target. Come on.
Yeah, right. The one shot that's on target has to use the ground to bounce, resets to 000s, and we got an OT type situation here in the battle for Montana. Who is the most cowboy of cowboys?
Oh, that's okay,
Wow.
AC. Oh my God, AC, I'm so sorry that happened to you. Go saving his own shot there. Montana State University given another life here in game number 1. Look at how close this game has been. Tug. Here we go in the corner. Chef looking to get it out of his own half. And it's not possible. AC off the ceiling puts this one in at the 30-second mark. We got Montana taking game 1.
That is as close as an angle as it possibly gets. 57 miles an hour. It's not belie just how close that one was. A little bit slower. Probably would have hit the right side bar. A little faster and definitely would have hit that top bar. But hey, my favorite games of Rocket League, Flater, are going to be these right here. Games that go down. Just in general, my favorite games of Rocket League are 0-1 games. And specifically with an overtime, it's just so exciting to get down, like, try as you might type thing, but still nothing until you actually hit those 000s and start the sudden death situation.
But 5 minutes of constant gameplay between these two teams and no goals. And, for crying out loud, Montana State, 3 shots on target. Out of all that time, they managed to procure only 3. So that just tells us how much pressure Montana has been applying upon them.
Yeah, so, 3 shots total Montana State, 9 over there for University of Montana. I feel like 4 of those or something like that came from that overtime type situation, an overtime that was essentially dominated by University of Montana. The battle for Montana continues, and as this is the second game, we have another fun Montanese, I think that's what you said, Montanese fact. Mine is that Montana has had the greatest temperature change of American states.
I got another one for you. Montana is considered to be the treasure state of the United States of America, harboring resources like gold, copper, silver, and all the fancy metals that you can imagine in a jewelry store.
Yes, sir.
Or at a chemistry lab.
Yeah, right? Or hey, maybe in some of your PCs, folks. Who knows? Who knows? 30 seconds into this game, and we'll be back with more Montanese facts for you folks as the battle for Montana continues. Loser of this, unfortunately, has to leave the state forever. Cannot ever return to the state.
Oh boy, this is good. This just got a lot more fun. We got a Hunger Games situation going on around here.
Absolutely, absolutely. We'll have some more fun with that in the interview action after this one, guys. 60 seconds in, just like a game number 1. No scores on boards quite yet, and none really on the horizon.
Doesn't seem like it. No, none of these teams, both of these teams, like putting shots somewhere around the field, but none of the, I do not see anything being threatening so far. Struck, just passes it over to the other side. We got OK Finn on the ball there, good 50, sending it over to Hikru, who decides to spend some time with the ball, gets faked out. We'll love to see it. Chef almost carries it past both of them, but OK Finn is there to save the day. Sends it down center. Here we go. Shot on target. Saved by Prosy. Can he get the second touch? No, he can't. 90 seconds into this game, Hikru, a ceiling shot attempt absolutely denied as he gets stomped upon from the backside.
It really does, dude. Really does. 3:11 left in this game. About 2 minutes have eclipsed. Again, not for lack of trying, but no real shots made in so far. A low and slow blow almost rings true for the first one right there, but Hikru, oh, and Epic on top of that save gets a halo to boot. Nicely done. Pro He is trying to accept this one, but AZ actually has a nasty takeaway right here. Hikru getting set up for it, but meeting him there is Chef.
Oh, there we go. Okay, Finn. Shot opportunity. Oh, could have done something with it, but decides to give it away. And just like that, possession given right back to Montana. Struck. Taking it for just a little while longer, and this is exactly where we see the big shot differential coming into play. Most of the times, Montana State is stuck with making these clears, and once here and there, looking for shots on target. But UMT, they have been around for such a long time here on the other side of the field. They just keep putting in shots and shots on target. Here we see once again a good 50, sending it into the corner. Okay, Finn, just a mid-air demo out of nowhere, decides to put him out of the game, and I'm not even sure if he did anything wrong there.
Wow, yeah. I mean, It's kind of one of those things, if you wait long enough to make a decision, that decision will make you. I think we've seen a little bit of pensiveness on both of these teams' sides, and I think that that's kind of reflected in the 0-0 scoreline in Game 1. It went all the way down to overtime, and now here in Game 2. Nobody willing to take the first blow.
Not yet. Okay, Finn, do you have what it takes? Sending it over to Ice, and what a redirect, and what an even better save. Hikru, however, is there to save the day. The third man, right position, perfect timing to put that one onto the back of the net. Struck, but you have to say a commendable job on that first save.
Yeah, so Montana University scores the first goal in this series here in Game 2. About 3 minutes and 40 seconds in, which is kind of wild to say out loud. Kind of a wild fact to be true. Only score outside of that one was the one in overtime, game number 1 in regular time. About a minute left here. A solid shot. Haiku going to be able to read this one, but it's the second shot and a 2.5 commit, a double and a half commit, 2.5 commit. We'll call that one. But fortunately, if you're a fan of Montana University, no harm, no foul. Is that?
Come on.
No,
well,
yeah.
you know, Montana State, if you want more facts, you got to take a game here.
Oh, another solid shot right there as Haiku tries to add on to the total. Looking at 1 score average per game thus far, which not about as low, is as low as you can get. Technically even less than that, right? Because we got overtime earlier, but hey, no overtime situation here unless Montana State is able to bring this one back. Shots over, nice tee-off factor right there. That might be enough, and we only have 15 seconds left or so. Every time this ball gets hit super high one way, that's going to be another 3 or 4 seconds burned off, and that is not time that Montana State can play with.
Montana State's midfield play has been top-notch, but it's those finisher touches that have not come through for this roster so far, leading them to another defeat here in game number 2. I believe, yes, this is game number 2. 2-0 currently in favor of Montana.
Yeah, so what we just see here is another, on paper, by the numbers, very close game. And this is just the same exact as it was in game number 1. Montana just barely edges this one out. A 3-3 team against this 2-4 team right now. And 2 scores, 2 games. You could even call it more than 2 games again because there was about 30 seconds of overtime in that first game. Now, I think the question on all of our minds is, do we get another 1-score game in game number 3?
Man, I mean, if Montana State continues to play this way, I'm not sure they'll be getting many more opportunities for shots on target. And, you know, you're looking at Montana now, this has been a pretty similar game in terms of shots, but you can still tell that University of Montana had most of the possession plays going for them.
Getting confirmed from our production, it is Montanian, but I really like Montanese, and you know it's weird, it's silly, right? And so I think we're gonna go for that one. We are looking at Oki Finn and the rest of Montana University looking to, I want to say score early, but I just don't think that's going to happen between either of these 2 teams.
Is, well, a new game, Tug, meaning a new fact about Montana, and I'm reading it. I'm reading it right here. Of course, was it the world's shortest river here in Montana? So that's pretty cool.
World's shortest river. How interesting. Interesting. Now, folks, in Montana, the elk, deer, antelope populations actually outnumber the number of humans. In fact, you will be able to only find 6 other states that even have a lower population than Montana. Fortunately, of that very low population, we got 6 of the best Rocket League players in Oki Finn getting this one done. It wasn't a flashy goal, Flater. It doesn't have to be.
It doesn't have to be. No, all they got to do is make sure it goes into the back of the net, and that is exactly what OK Finn has done. One of the first goals that he has scored here in these past 2 games. Looking to do more here. We got Montana State applying some pressure, but it is over in an instant as we see OK Finn almost making the second goal on target. Proceed with a good save. Eyes, all he needs to do is control the ball and wait for a 50. Denied completely. So I love to see Montana State's new transition into something better. Okay, Chef, he decides to send it right back to the corner.
Say yes, Chef. Yes, Chef. They're paying attention in the kitchen. Minute 15 left in this one. It's almost weird to say that there has been a score in the first minute, given that, well, I mean, we went 5 minutes plus without a score, then with like 4 minutes or so without a score. Game number 2. Game number 3 on the precipice, on the peak, the side of the cliff right now. If you're a Montana State University fan.
Almost making something work here. We got OK Finn off the backboard. Good read, getting it past 1 and holding on to the possession here, even with a little boost to his name. Maintaining that momentum can just be the difference setter here between these two rosters. Worst goal still in favor of Montana Eyes, spending a lot of time with the ball in the air and cutting off precious time against the Montana State. And here in game number 3, that's all you can wish for.
Oh man, that's gonna be AZ with the second score. Now 2 minutes and 10. Here's a fact for you, right? Not necessarily. Well, I guess it is a Montana fact because it's about Montana schools. But 2 minutes and 10 seconds into this game, we have the same amount of scores that we had across the almost 11 minutes of gameplay between game 1 and 2. How interesting.
Tug, do you know what's more interesting?
What's more interesting?
There are more cows in Montana than people.
Deer, antelope, elk. That makes sense. More cows? How interesting. I guess it is a... I don't know. I guess it is just a very low population state. But exactly half into this, we now have one more score in 2.5 minutes than we had in almost 11 minutes of gameplay earlier. High Crew probably just put the nail in the coffin. But, like I always say, Flater, whatever has happened in the first half of this game can be unhappened. Whatever has been done in the first half can be undone in the second half.
I absolutely agree. The unhappening is going to be happening right about now here. We believe in the Montana State to make something happen, and never mind, Hey Crew is there to stomp upon my dreams, as well as Montana State, as there he goes once again, putting the 4th shot on target. Chef could not make the contact properly there, giving Hey Crew the space he needs to put the 4th one on the board.
Yeah, good stuff there from High Crew. This is Montana State University now that's really just looking to hopefully get even a single score, as they have been shut out across the first 2 games and now into the 3rd. Interestingly enough as well, Loma, Montana holds the world record, not country record, not continental record, the world record for the largest temperature difference in a single day. In 24 hours, the temperature changed from 103 degrees to 49. Is a, 54-degree change. That is, of course, Fahrenheit.
What?
Yeah. Right? Isn't that, like, really, really crazy?
It is crazy.
That's gonna... I have no idea what that'd be Celsius. I'm sorry, guys. I'm a brainless American.
It's fine. Maybe I will find out soon enough. Just a quick little Google search there. But for now, in the 90 seconds left into this game, 4-goal deficit here for the Montana State University. How do you come back from this? Well, Tug, if you were in Montana State's position, what would you be doing?
If I was in Montana State's position, I'd be designating a point man at this point, and the other 2 would literally be like a pass. Like one would be a passer, one would be the offender, one would be that. What do they call them in hockey? Like the enforcer, you know, the brute, the guy, basically the person who goes forth and makes physical plays and gets demos. Because at this point, Montana U, all 3 players on the pitch. I mean, obviously, nothing's going in.
Absolutely, I guess physical plays might just be the way to go here to secure a few consolation goals, but so far it feels like even they seem to be few and far between. But with double coming to get that clear onto the other side. High Crew, there he is though, giving possession to himself. Eyes sending it right back on the other half. High Crew, can he pick this one right up, which he does. Sends it over to Eyes. Eyes says goodbye. I'm not going to be going for this one first try. There he is. Now, a lot of space to work with. Gonna be facing Prose first. Didn't even have the chance. And look at that pinch shot on target. Saved away by Struck with only single-digit seconds left on the clock there. Chef is gonna put in one final ditch attempt to put a shot on target. High Crew's there to stomp upon it. Good pass from Struck. But I believe that's about to hit the ground there, and Montana State University will not be getting the consolation goal that they needed, the consolation goal that they wanted, and it's going to be Montana taking this best-of-5 series in a 3-0 fashion.
Yes, it will. Yes, it will. First two games were incredibly close. The first game really close, especially given that went down to overtime. But only one total shot attempted from Montana State University seals the deal when we're talking about 13 on the other side. Also, got the Google search for you guys. 49 degrees Fahrenheit to 103 degrees Fahrenheit is 9.4 degrees Celsius to 39.4 degrees Celsius. Crazy stuff.
Bro, that
So
is
essentially a 30-degree Celsius change in a single 24-hour period. That's crazy. That's crazy.
that is like the most extreme temperatures that we have here.
Yeah, it's said in the world, like ever. And I mean, and the more I think about it, the more I think like, oh, that makes sense because like Antarctica is going to be like incredibly cold, but it's never going to be like not cold, right? Like I don't know. Interview
You
action
never
coming
know.
up for you guys here in just a little bit. We'll be getting a member of the Montana University to come on down, give us a minute of their time. We just need a minute to set it up, and we'll be back with you guys in just a minute.
Take control. Darkness, take control. May the darkness take control. Take me in the smoke, breathe me in and let me go. Sink to your heart to find you. Open up your eyes till you're blinded by the lies, so you can see what you do. Restless every time we start locking eyes. Lost control. Oh, it's paradise with honesty, but in the dead of the night. Teardrops on the floor. The pain is over. Feel the darkness take control.
Hello and welcome back, FBI Tugboat Man Flater. And now we got from the University of Montana, Hi Crew, to come on in and give us a minute of their time after the game. Hi Crew, you with us?
I'm here. Thanks for having me.
Not a problem. Not a problem. Congratulations on your victory. I gotta ask. In this battle for Montana and everything that is on the docket here, right? Did you anticipate putting Montana State University to not one, not two, but 3 zero-digit performances?
No, didn't expect that. I think our expectation was a 3-0, not to sound rude or anything, but we know what we're capable of. And but no, not the perfect sweep. That was not anything we thought would happen, but it was pretty cool in the moment. Yeah.
Absolutely. Flater?
Yeah, I got a couple of questions. Oh, what kind of strategies were you guys looking at coming into this one?
Honestly, nothing much. We haven't been practicing all too often, but I just playing our game. Honestly, we just try and play solid Rocket League. Don't try and do anything too special. Keep the mistakes to a minimum, and hope we come out on top.
Do you guys, as a team, decide to play in other online community tournaments? Maybe participating in LANs?
Yeah, no lands. Maybe. Well, actually, we do. There is a Big Sky Games LAN here being hosted on our campus. I think Montana State will be coming up for that, and as well as some other teams. We also play in NECC. Not the main team. We kind of split up just due to some time constraints for some players. But yeah, we just do NECC and EGF.
Yep,
Love to see
it's
it.
all from my side.
Yeah. So obviously we have a bit of a unique situation here. Like we were talking about on broadcast, Flater and I were talking about the interesting Montana facts. But now Montana State struck Chef and Pro Hayes, unfortunately can no longer live in the state of Montana. They're being escorted to the state border as we speak. So I got to ask, like, in this unique situation, do you like get their possessions? Does that go to the state? How does that one work, Hi Crew?
That's a tough question. I think we're not gonna bother him. We'll let him be. We'll let him be.
Okay.
We're not gonna take anything.
Gotcha.
A lot of
Gotcha.
respect
Just
for that.
messing around, of course. Just messing around.
Yeah.
We were having a lot of fun with all the state of Montana, like facts and whatnot. Did you know
yeah.
that not only do cows outnumber people, but the number of deer, elk, and antelope also outnumber the number of people in Montana?
I did not know that, but I could have guessed it considering nobody lives here. So,
Fair.
yeah, good to know though.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Hi, crew. Thanks for playing along. Thank you for your time after the game. I want to ask you if you have any shout outs.
Yeah, shout out my parents, everyone else's parents in chat watching. They always support Grizz Esports, awesome program, and my two go-to teammates for popping off today. And shout out MSU, great team.
Absolutely. Absolutely. This has been the Battle for Montana. Montana University taking down Montana State University 3-0 fashion and a shutout. Unfortunately, Montana State University not able to put up a goal across these 3 games. Hi, crew. Thank you for joining us. We'll catch you next time.
Awesome. Thanks, guys.
Not a problem. Not a problem. This has been fantastic trio of games. Now, I believe that's going to be it for Flater and I. Is that correct, Flater?
Yes, that is correct.
Yes, we are going to have. Come on, I just had it up here. There we go. We are going to have 3 more games after this. I believe you're going to have 2 other casters. I can't find it right now, and they're going to treat you guys absolutely fantastically. Paz is going to continue to be producing. We appreciate them and what they do here. We're without our production staff. We were just 2 guys screaming about esports in our rooms. But yeah, let's run through scores yet again, just in case people are just joining us. That was Xavier University coming out against RIT in a 3-1 fashion right there. Took that in a bit of an elongated series. Butler and Northern Arizona, the second seed, come in and won, but only by a score difference of 1 every single time, except for that first game. And then the battle for Montana University putting down Montana State University, 1-0 fashion the first 2 games, and then a bit of a sweep there in the third game later.
Oh yeah, pretty close. All of these games have been wonderful, and it was always fun to cast with you, Tug.
Absolutely. Always a good time there, Flater. Short break, guys. They'll be setting up this next game and the next pair of casters coming in just a little bit.
See ya.
Just to find somewhere that finally feels like home. Oh, oh. When I look in your eyes, I feel paralyzed.
Hello and welcome back. I got you. Baited our audiences. I told you guys that you're going to get TDS. You're going to get some J Turbo action. Well, it was a half a lie. I'm still here. They can't take me out. I'm not leaving. You guys will have some fiery TDS casting next week, but you'll be with me and you'll be with J Turbo for the rest of the night. 2 more series here, both produced by the man, the myth, the legend, the producer, the esports producer. That's Paz, y'all. Pause out there on the 1s and 2s, I believe it's called, to help us produce. And otherwise, because again, we are just 2 guys screaming about Rocket League in our rooms without our production staff. We do appreciate you, Pause.
Exactly. We're literally just 2 guys with a microphone. None of this would be possible without our production crew. So if you're ever watching any esports, make sure that you don't just thank the casters, you thank everyone involved, because it really does take a whole team to make this stuff happen. But today, again, Tug said he lied to you, and now he's back. And we're also going to be back with more action out of the EGFC is we've got Marquette versus UTK. Marquette really trying to bounce back from their first half of the season, their fall, as they went 0-6, really struggling, losing a lot of their star players from last season when they were one of the top teams in the league. And UTK still trying to make their Cinderella stories live up to it, still trying to become one of those contenders as we are off and starting game number 1.
Yes, so that's going to be on board with Trimmy right now. Mid-pitch action. Teams kind of feeling each other out a little bit. But that is your UTK squad on the right side in the orange. Hermes flying through the air right now.
As so far, nothing too explosive off the kickoff. Big miss from Nito Burrito. And that's going to open the door for Trimmy to try and set up a double. Not enough boost to make that one work. And Hermes trying to take those winged feet up and over the top of the Marquette defense. So far, first 30 seconds, a lot of pressure from UTK, but still not materializing in anything that we're too concerned about as a decent counterattack. And now this might just be an open door. Nito Burrito gets beat, and Hermes going to try and center this one out.
Gotta say, UTK probably would have scored maybe even twice by now had they had that offensive support. Always makes sense to have that back player. Somebody always waiting in the wings to keep this up, and then a low and slow roller there from Hermes. No fast, fun, flashy flying action here today. I'm not sure why I tried to say that.
It's just unfortunate there watching it back from Nito Burrito. Has to go either left or right to try and cover the shot. Picks the wrong side, loses that 50 in a way, and it does open the door for an early score. And it is about what we expected. UTK, I think the favorite coming into this one. They had a decent start to their season in the fall as Marquette again really trying to bounce back. And I'm going to say I like that they haven't been giving away a ton of space. Of course, there's a few points that they do get caught on the same line as Nito Burrito, almost on the own goal. That was a little bit awkward. Hands the ball back over. Still pretty safe, but you can't be making moves like that or giving opportunities like that away.
Hey, at least he got it done fast. It might have been uncomfortable, but like ripping a Band-Aid off. Stung for a second and was over quickly. Fortunate stuff. UTK, the University of Tennessee at Knoxville. Gonna be up 1-0 in the series, in the game, excuse me, about 2 minutes in. A double tap, a triple tap, everything. Tap, and they're beatboxing out here, man. Not gonna be enough, though. Not gonna be enough. Marquette does hold strong. The rebuilding Marquette University.
And UTK, you can see off that last one, they're going for some fancy stuff. They wanted to get the in-between pass. I bet the comms were just like, you see me, I'm up. And it couldn't quite materialize. Good save on the back line. But the fact that UTK are trying to pull out these kind of moves are pretty scary because it opens the door. And also, if you win the 50 and there's no one on the back line, Hermes going to take advantage every single time. And we got 2 goals within the first half of this game.
Nicely done. Hermes flying through the air for the second on this one. 2 shots, 2 goals, 100% efficient as of right now, J-Turbo.
And that's what you like to see from one of your lead strikers, that efficiency, taking advantage of every single opportunity that's given, trying to make a ceiling shot work. Instead, it's Trimmy just sending it back to their own side of the pitch, but a little contact from Mikey means it was scary for just a second. No one from Marquette quite ready to respond, and Mikey looking for the really deep angle. I would have lost it if that one went in. Can't quite find it, but still, it looks like UTK, they're definitely having a little bit of fun with this one, trying to go for some more unorthodox options, but Marquette have still been keeping this contested in the midfield, so it's not to say that it's just been an open door. UTK have still had to work for their scores, and right there, just a slight mistiming on the attack with a beautiful cross.
Yeah, so Mikey, the attempted pass right here, does not get accepted, and just like that, Hermes and the rest of this UTK squad found themselves until just now on that defensive side. Now, here's Trimothy almost gets this one up. No, it's going to be the teammate. No, it's not even there. It's not eclipsed. CJ, or C-Jax. C-Jax?
C-Jax. I'm going with C-Jax. I like that.
I like C-Jax. I like C-Jax.
Oh my gosh, you got to get it all the way in the net.
I've stayed in hotel rooms for shorter periods of time than that ball was eclipsed.
Honestly, yeah, it was just bouncing in and out of the box for so long. Trimmy once again off the backboard, but Mikey's going to finish the job this time where he couldn't time. And that is 3 up for the Vols, looking very, very comfortable off that double tap setup from Trimmy.
81 seconds left in this game, number 1. Trimmy the name, Trimmy the tag, Trimothy, I hope is his actual name. Here's the hope. And 80 seconds left on this. One kickoff there for UTK. Now starts this up. The double tap doesn't come in. The triple tap does. They call him Triple Tap Trimmy for a reason. They do not. I just made that up.
I hope so. I want to get more triple taps for Trimmy. I want that. I want that name for UTK as they continue. And at this point, I think it's sort of checked out as this game. It's all but over. A minute 13, really garbage time. But I'm going to say for Marquette, this is a point that you can't let your mentals check out, because 1 or 2 goals, 1 or 2 opportunities can be enough to light that fire looking ahead to the series, or just trying to find some options, because UTK, we can see that they're playing confidently. They're playing very, very comfortable and trying to get a little flashy with it. And I think the second you punish them for that is the second you find your way back into this series. But instead, it's going to be a long cross pass and just a little too far forward for Trimmy to make that one a highlight.
Yeah, if I mean, 40 seconds definitely possible, very unlikely. If it happens, Marquette's going to have to pour everything in a bag of chips into offense, whether that's physical play, demos and whatnot, or whether that's long balls or long passes, something to get something going here. As it is, the best situation we're really staring down the barrel of as of right now, J-Turbo, is Marquette scoring just 1, if you're a Marquette fan, of course, is Marquette at least scoring 1 for the road. You can open it up and drink it on your way to game number 2.
And they were getting close. Saw 2 members on the goal line in that last attack, but I think they just wound up getting in each other's way. Neither could find a clean shot. Gets back to the Vols. A couple seconds to go. Looks like UTK just want to let this one run. Marquette trying to make one final approach. Nito Burrito gets blocked by Mikey, and there's no one in position to turn this one around for Marquette. Mikey brings it back, looks for the double. Maybe they just want a final score of their own, and instead it's a bar down on the goal line for Tennessee to take this win 4-0.
Yeah, so Marquette University out of Milwaukee, Wisconsin. I will let you guess where the University of Tennessee Knoxville is. Takes this, excuse me, drops in this one 0-6. Unfortunately, the rebuilding Marquette University squad still trying to kind of find their footing. And the best news I think that we've seen for this squad is that this is 3 members, Nito Burrito, Red Hawk, and C-Jax, that are individually skilled and talented. They simply have the skills to pay the bills, J-Turbo. It is just about coordinating at this point. You can basically see some of the comms right here, especially on their defensive side, when they're just trying to get a player where they need to be. Frequently, that position will instead be split across 2 different players, both of them going for the same thing.
Yeah, they're just not on the same page with a few of those rotates, and that is something that can be tightened up. It's very difficult to do within a single series just by the nature of the game, right? You have 5 minutes trying to adjust once again and tighten certain parts of your game that might not be as practiced. Very difficult, but I mean, we have seen these Marquette players are able to go for a lot of these long balls, able to keep up as far as contests with UTK, but it's when the game starts to break down or really develop into that more passing structured gameplay that we've seen UTK do so well so far, that Marquette just sort of falls behind. They don't have that third man ready to receive all the time, and it has shown in dividends, at least for UTK, as a good save by Nito Burrito on the goal line. Not going to run into any kickoff goals to start things off.
Nicely done. Yeah, almost though. Not for lack of trying. And now here's an interesting stat, a little fun fact for you folks. This has been 4 EGFC games in a row, possibly 5, possibly more, that has seen one team score 0 goals. I cannot tell you the last time that I have seen that, given that Montana State finished out their 3-game series at a 1-0, 1-0, and 4-0 scoreline against the University of Montana. If it happens again here, I think that I can safely say that it'll be the first time in my 8 semesters or something like that casting EGFC that has happened. Too high right now for Mikey, or Trimmy though, excuse me.
Real close off of that approach, and yeah, seeing so many go back-to-back scoreless, really, really unfortunate for the squads that have been struggling. Still, this is a better look, I'm going to say, for Marquette, where they haven't given away a goal in the first minute, but also on defense, it has been a little bit more scattered, but this is a spot that Trimmy's got the reset, good read by Nito Burrito, and a tight follow-up by C-Jax, and that's, I think, what Marquette really needs to start doing on defense is if they find themselves on that similar rotate, if they find themselves running into each other, play for a light touch, play for something really, really tight that might not turn into the exact passing play you want, but can at the very least be a little bit more comfortable to play out off of a booming clear or something like that, where you give yourself options as opposed to just being caught and not able to transition. As Nito Burrito getting a little tossed in the back of the orange box. Not sure what he's doing there as Mikey looks for the transition double and finds it with ease. Oh, that is some nice stuff out of Mikey.
Insanity. That is going to be Mikey's second for the 2 games thus far. Hermes got 2 in game 1. Trimmy got 1 in that first game as well. Just shy of 2 minutes into this one. And UTK, Tennesseans, Tunisians, I don't know. It's people from Tennessee, the folks from Tennessee now, up 1-0 in the series, up 1-0 in this game too.
I'm just going to refer to them because like figuring out the right word to call Tennesseans is too difficult. I'm just going to call them Bulls because that's their mascot, the Volunteers.
That's fair. That's much easier too, let's be honest.
So much easier, right? They're out finding their way forward, trying to do some good in the world, and so far, it seems like Mikey just wants to add more clips to the highlight reel, trying to send that one out of the way, but Marquette finding their first stint of offense in this game number 2, quickly sent away by Trimmy. Anito Burrito, a clean 50, but lands right for Hermes, finds the shot, better save. Now Mikey looking for the response, awkward touch,
man.
That is so brutal. That bar down, just barely making its way in, and just this constant pressure, these quick turnarounds for UTK are proving to be too much for Marquette to handle.
Yeah, Nito Burrito and the rest of the Marquette University squad have been assuming possession before it's truly there. And I think that UTK squad, the Vols squad, have just been doing a better job. That's a first bounce, no goal. There's C-Jax. There's a third tap in Trimmy. Trimmy taking a little bit off the top of that one to block it away. Use that sideboard and backboard to keep this Marquette University squad at 0-0.
Oh, and that's so unfortunate if you are Marquette. You have a golden opportunity and then a solid rebound. Trimmy, I'm going to say that was a fantastic save to just get the perfect pre-jump. Now C-Jax just off the post again. Back-to-back, great opportunities for C-Jax, and back-to-back, unable to quite find it. Trimmy looking for the really deep angle, won't be able to do much with it. Very awkward from Red Hawk, and that's going to dime up Hermes, who's going to get a Phoenix instead at the goal.
Wow, 3-0 lead right now for the side of UTK. 97 seconds left into this one. And I think that Hermes, Trimmy, and Mikey have... This is pretty interesting. I am pretty sure the past, 4 scores have all been pretty much the same side right there. That, right side corner right here. But, my memory is not the best, so who knows? 90 seconds left on this one.
They've been playing really well out of the right corner. They've been...
Specifically, yeah.
Because... I think that it doesn't matter which corner, but they really like trying to push aggressively out, leave one player mid, because they're confident that they can be a little bit faster than the defense or pick up these really awkward touches that Marquette keeps on finding, or just shout us dead wrong, take it from the left side instead and pop that one right over the defense. A beautiful shot out of Hermes once again as they equalize the scoreline from game number 1.
And that's about as high as it does get there. The Phoenix score animation afterwards. And Hermes puts up another one. I believe Trimmy has gotten 2 across these 2 games so far, so fantastic job, everybody. Oh, no, Trimmy doesn't have any in this one. I think he got 1 in the last game. Not 100% sure, it doesn't matter.
It's close. We don't have to keep the stats quite that close. We can check the post game after this one, add things up. And it is UTK still not letting their foot off the gas. They want to make this scoreline as much as possible. They want to keep Marquette to 0. They want to shock your 8-semester eyes with a 6-0 back-to-back series scoreline. C-Jax was barely going to knock that one out after it had already gotten over his teammate. And 30 seconds left for Marquette to try and prove that they can score in the series. At least in game number 2, they've still got another 5 minutes to work with, but it's still a scary proposition if you go 10 without scoring.
Wow, yeah, and this this would be, what? 5 games or 5 maps in a row here for the EGFC. If Marquette University scores 0, that would be pretty crazy. Again, at this point, just kind of looking for one for the road, something to take with you and at least feel a little bit better about. Red Hawk not willing to give this one up quite yet. Meeting it there is Mikey, taken to the right side. That's actually an honest shot on. That's an even more honest shot on. Doesn't matter. Actually needed to bounce down right there, but UTK taking another game at a 4-0 scoreline.
Oh my gosh, and you're Trimmy, no goals this game. I think you did have 1 in the previous, so really slacking next to the rest of the team who have at least hat tricks of their own. But still, That last goal was just an absolute screamer. And I'm scared for Marquette moving forward to try and keep up when you're looking at the kind of plays. Like, I mean, just seeing the replays off of that during the scoreline or during the scoreboard scene, it's just, the transition play from Mikey. It's Hermes getting these absolute stingers from the sidewall. And of course, that last one nearly beamed in by Trimmy. That was going like 80 miles an hour or something. And the fact that they have some of those passing plays and that transition capability makes them so scary. And it is those counterattacks that I think haven't shown up a ton in this Marquette series just because of the amount of control that Tennessee has had. But certainly if Marquette starts to step up their offense, I think that we'll see some of those counterattacks really start to come together.
Yeah, 100% agreed. 100% agreed. That's all that Marquette really needs on this one is to just kind of maintain possession a little while longer and get this one going. Start off with some passes and just see how this UTK squad deals with that. If they shut it down, move on to the next.
Exactly that. Go next mentality. That is one thing I will say that I do quite like about Rocket League series format is you can always sort of refresh, forget the last game, and go next. Unless you want to remember something you have to defend against. But again, it's Hermes, a little deeper this time, but a very similar goal into the top right corner from the side wall.
Early lead here for UTK. I think the earliest lead, in fact, that they've seen so far. 4-0 game 1, 4-0 game 2. That was going to be plenty of time for this to be undone, though. Marquette University coming out, winning kickoff initially. That's Nito Burrito with a hit to the middle. Now Cjax winning this 50, taking this one to the right side right now. Gets a pass across a couple, and Red Hawk, meanwhile, is coming back from goal. Again, the scoring woes, the offensive onslaught pressure. Nice takeaway, though. Marquette continues. Let's see if it stops. Okay.
I like the idea. The cross is just a little bit too slow. Hermes going to try and walk this one in. Good patience by Nita Burrito and a solid outlet idea to Red Hawk. Just couldn't quite connect. And now there's no one in net. Unfortunate that boom. Oh, it was on target, but Trimmy just fast enough. Nearly had Marquette finding an opportunity from an over push out of UTK. But instead it is just going to be another comfortable save from Trimmy. And now Mikey going to put on his first for this game.
Nicely done. Wants to shoot like Mike. That's what we're talking about right here. Perfect read off the backboard as well, and a perfect 45-degree shot off the front right corner. Perfect stuff. 60 seconds into this one, up 2-0 are the University of Tennessee at Knoxville.
Nothing else that you can really ask for from a start out of UTK. Just 2 in a minute. That is exactly where you want to be. Nita Burrito, good idea. Not quite the power necessary to slip past Trimmy, who has been putting on a real defensive masterclass so far this game. Not letting anything bind. I mean, the entire UTK defense have been just denying any opportunities when they materialize. It's a good cross. Thought that might have been sent over to Trimmy, but instead it's going to be Hermes looking to make some magic from the sidewall again. And a good stuff off the side by Marquette's defense to at the very least slow things down. It just feels like they were just a step behind all the time as Mikey reset, shot over, no double, but the finish from Trimmy.
Jeez-a-rees. Third shot attempted there from Trimmy. 3 saves as well as this one. I mean, yeah, Trimmy is the one that gets it, but Mikey is the one that got it there. And I'll let you know which one of those is more impressive. Fantastic stuff from Trimmy flying through the air right there. The ball handling skills aerially is just absolutely supremium.
It was beautiful. I mean, putting together that kind of cross, not easy at all. And it does show. I mean, we saw the mechanics that were used. Mikey going to equalize the scoreline of games 1 and 2 right off this kickoff, as this is the fastest pace we've seen out of UTK, as Marquette just really struggling to try and keep up with this relentless pressure from the Bulls.
Yeah, just relentless pressure is an accurate descriptor there, J-Turbo. 4-0 right now. Fortunately, there's still more time left in this game than has Eclipse, so this is Marquette that can come back. Have to be off the backs of some really good coordination. Nito Burrito, unfortunately, can't quite wrap this one up. Gets that just a little bit too high. Trimmy on quite a run right now. Cjax reads his number, comes up and tries to ring the bell, but that is just another unfortunate example of UTK assuming possession. Once again, J-Turbo, this is what I'm talking about, man.
And, I mean, at this point, it doesn't even feel like possession. It was like an awkward touch. Trimmy was in the right place, but it speaks, I think, more to UTK as a squad being able to react to whatever position they find themselves in, right? Where it never feels like they're going to be that awkward from their position if they have to field the ball, if they have to take a shot, if they have to make a pass happen. They're a lot more comfortable than Marquette seems to be. And I think that's been the real difference maker is while you see these pretty practiced positions, Marquette's pretty comfortable in the midfield, contesting here and there. But when it gets awkward, when it gets tough, when it comes down to making a tough shot, UTK have just been really batting 100 so far, and the opposite can be said for Marquette. Not a bad look over top.
Oh,
And
about
talk about
I had a
lost
good
you
line
for a
there.
second.
I had a good line there. I said for every close game, there's an equal and opposite unclose game. I believe that was one of the laws of relativity. Mikey there for the sixth
Sounds
now.
like inertia.
Yeah, there you
Or,
go.
no, yeah, for every action, there's an equal and opposite reaction. Yeah, that's inertia. This is Rocket League inertia, series inertia, esports
I
inertia.
like it. Esports inertia. That's the name of the book one day, J Turbo.
That it is. Oh my gosh. You're right. You're right. Esports inertia, finding momentum when there is none.
There you go.
That's the book.
Well, that'll be the autobiography one day, dude. That'll be the autobiography.
You'll see it in stores in 2050 or something. Whenever that happens, his Red Hawk makes a diving save, and this one will trundle out. Come on!
Oh my
No!
God!
Come on! Get there!
There you
Yes!
go, there you go,
Nito
okay.
Burrito gets number 1. We do not get 6 back-to-back scoreless games, but what we do have is the opportunity for a Brazil.
Yeah. The 1-7, the infamous scoreline, right? Trimmy right there. Continued pressure. Not surprised. You know, you gotta play it to the whistle, right? Isn't that what they say? So
Exactly.
they're continuing to play their game. It is unlikely to see 5 Marquette scores in the next 80 seconds, but it is entirely possible. We'll take it all the way with you guys. Happy to be here. Mikey down bottom. Another shot. Trimmy right there. Mikey Trimmy. I feel like I'm broken record here. Mikey Trimmy. Trimmy Mikey. You know?
Dynamic duo as they do put up the Brazil. Surely going to be happy with that one. Unfortunate dive from CJX. Not quite timed. I'm sure that Marquette, they were okay with 2 scoreless games, but the Brazil adds a little extra salt to the wound. Maybe looking for
fair.
an extra chance. Break that.
Still 60 seconds to go. Hermes up. Trimmy, an uncharacteristic miscoordination between these two. I think Mikey's just playing wall ball right now.
Yeah, I think for the side of UTK, they hit the Brazil. Now they might just be trying to run the clock down. But Trimmy didn't quite get the reset. Yeah, and now they're having fun with it. They're trying to catch each other in the air, get some fun setups that they can maybe turn into a TikTok. And Mikey looking for the double. Can't finish it off the top. And it will be 30 seconds to go before UTK takes their clean sweep of this series.
That's entirely fair. Not going to score 6 times in 20 seconds. I'm confident in making that call there. J Turbo, this series is over. There might be a couple extra right here, but mostly, again, players, respecting each other by having played their game, and now the series is almost effectively over. Excuse me, the Brazil. There you go. No longer the largest country in South America. We got a 2-7. We'll have to have a name for that one. Okay?
No,
Isn't it the largest country in South America?
it definitely is. But
Okay,
more like
yeah.
who's replacing them? I feel like we just have left Brazil. We're no longer in Sao Paulo. We're in like Bogota or something. We've left Brazil and we found ourselves somewhere else on the continent.
Gotcha.
as-
Traveling here. Traveling.
We're traveling, exactly. We got taken to Brazil and we can leave in just a few seconds. Might have made it to Barcelona if there was one more score from Tennessee. But unfortunately, we're out of named scores, and it will be UTK just with a clean sweep.
Yeah. The maintaining of possession throughout for the University of Tennessee at Knoxville is really what spells out a 4-0 in game 1, a 4-0 in game 2, and a 7-2 lead there in game number 3. Back with you guys in just a minute. We'll get a little interview action set up for you from one of these members of the University of Tennessee at Knoxville. Hello and welcome back. We are here and we're back to live the EGFC. I'm FBI Towboat. I'm here with my man Jay Turbo. Turbo, how are we feeling?
I'm feeling pretty good. That last game, a bit of a wash. I mean, UTK, they came in hot and ready, and unfortunately, Marquette tasted just about as good as a Little Caesars hot and ready pizza after it's been sitting out for a day. And it's just unfortunate when you have matches like that. Marquette's still trying to rebuild, and of course, looking forward to them as they continue to grow and looking to next season as well. But now we've got Southern Utah versus William and Mary, both of them sitting in the middle of the standings. Number 11, Southern Utah, up against number 15, William and Mary. But both of these teams have had some pretty tough losses, both losing to NAU, currently sitting at second in the overall standings. And William and Mary, their only other two losses being to Cincinnati and Villanova, both sitting in the top 5. So the fact that they're seated a little bit lower doesn't really mean anything going into this match.
And again, that is 11th to 15th right here. Really not that massive of a difference out of our 25, I believe, teams total. And really, at the end of the day, you said it all right there towards the end. Villanova, Northern Arizona University, and Cincy. Cincy, Northern Arizona are numbers 1 seed and 2 seed respectively for a reason. University, or what was the fifth one?
Villanova.
Darn it. Villanova, thank you. Villanova did not get there by mistake either, especially after 6 matches of regular season EGFC play. These are very, very good teams that William and Mary played against, and they did lose to them. Everything else, they have gone 4th and 1. If we're picking horses here, Southern Utah might be ahead, numbers-wise as of right now. But I think that William and Mary is going to push this series to an extended beyond 3 games, definitely.
Yeah, I don't think we're running into a sweep. A 3-1 at minimum. Hoping for that, for going all the way to game 5. Really what I'm expecting is we're going to probably see Dolphin on the side of William and Mary really step up. Legacy and Truth trying to be those more supportive players. And it's going to be a matter of whether or not Southern Utah can shut Dolphin down early on, because he tends to be that opening playmaker for William and Mary, is already contesting inside the blue box.
Back to the middle right here. Legacy, Truth, Dolphin. Gonna be the 3 members. Nicely done. A little bit of a wonky play, but Dolphin is able to dive into this one. Kind of a weirder second look at this one. Maybe just attempting to get this ball away. Blue team, that's Southern Utah, on the defense first.
Yeah, and D-Town and Silence double committing there. So already seeing a bit of discomfort early on, as Southern Utah just haven't quite gotten into their rotations yet, as that one registers as a shot, but it was just right off the post. This one will register as a goal, though, as Legacy finishes the job.
Truth and Legacy. Dolphin is in there as well. Everybody having a hand on this ball. Dolphin getting it there initially. Truth off the backboard. Legacy to the gut shot. We're going to be seeing a William and Mary squad go up early. 1-0 lead can be undone at any time, though.
Exactly, and I think that for Southern Utah, this is just more of a wake-up call than anything else, to tighten up, not go for as many of those double commits. Make sure that your comms are clear. I think that's really the statement for Southern Utah, is the Thunderbirds are just going to need to find some answers, as Silence barely able to dive across and answer that glancing shot from Dolphin. Although this is scary, Legacy forced to come up and cut off that rotate, as both teams getting, I think, a little bit uncomfortable. Still hasn't been anything too scary when it comes to these approaches besides that opening goal from William and Mary, but definitely little moments that you can see these teams aren't necessarily super happy to be in the positions they're in, as Hawken close, as that was just chaos on the goal line, and Truth nearly getting past 2 to find a counterattack goal. And this one will sail right back. We go from goal to goal to goal. And this one finally winds up in the back of the net.
Silence to the haters. 62 miles per hour right here for Silence as Southern Utah gets on the board. 10-10, 0-0. All the same. It's 1-1 right now.
And this is why I didn't put too much stock in that opening goal from William and Mary as far as how this game's going to go. Southern Utah able to answer back pretty quickly. Hawken very close, and Dolphin winning this challenge means there might be a double opportunity. Keeps it contested on the goal line, and Southern Utah will just barely be able to float that one away. Double whiff, as it looked like Dolphin was playing for the touch. So not something you see too often. but it does happen where you're trying to be reactive and the other player just doesn't quite get that touch you were expecting, and instead we go back to this ping pong with the ceiling into the midfield.
Faking J Turbo, that's what they were doing. They were faking
Oh, you're right. Faking. My bad.
They're trying to break ankles out here.
I forgot to drop the quick chat. I don't have my controller in my hands. It's instinctual,
right.
like if I'm in game though.
Yes. I may or may not have said that in my day-to-day life on accident when I've like dropped something or something.
I mean, it still doesn't match. I remember seeing this clip, and it was someone winning a chess tournament. It was pretty young lady, and she just said GG's to everyone at the chess tournament, and the entire room was just a bunch of guys in suits, and so I imagine how that went over. But of course, here in EGF, everyone's accustomed to the GG's, and this one doesn't look like it'll be ending anytime soon as we stay scoreless after a minute and a half from that last goal.
Yeah, so it's still tied up. D-Town backflips twice to have to get to this one and gets it out of the source of danger. Just like that now, Southern Utah going to be rocketing into the offensive position themselves. Solid attempt there from Hawken to try and take it to the skies. That really just bounces up and down, just like that. That's inside and kind of looked abandoned by the William & Mary player. I'm not sure what happened here.
There's a push-up forward from the two striking players, and Dolphin's on the way back, and Hawken just gets in his way. I think that's just over-aggression from William & Mary. They think they put a little too much stock in Truth looking for a bump when there were two players trying to challenge, so you can only get one at best, and it results in them giving up the lead. So as soon as it feels like the game is mellowing out and starting to even up, it's Southern Utah who snatched the lead away. Is all three William & Mary members up? I'm not sure about this one, as there's no one on the back line. It's still a tough position to score from for Southern Utah, but I don't think I've seen that ever.
Yeah, temporarily, not the William & Mary Rocket League team, but the synchronized car ball team, because that's exactly what it looked like. Literally like three, yeah, there you go. I like that. Oh, speaking of acrobatics, there's silence. Hawking was about to tee off on this one, but it's going to be D-Town taking it all the way down to downtown on a 3-1 lead now. The insurance policy. Pick it out. Progressive. State Farm. Whatever you want. The insurance policy purchased here for Southern Utah.
Could be AAA. I've been seeing those commercials when I watch Jeopardy every night.
I like it. Watch Jeopardy every night? Jesus. Are you older than I am?
I live with my parents. It's something we used to do when we were younger.
I get
it's
you.
a very, very nice time. I was so sad when the guy from Tampa who had a great run finally lost it. He ran the board for a week. It was great to see someone from my hometown. And he's confirmed for the tournament champion, so I got to see more Jeopardy out of him. But hopefully we get a little more action out of this game as William & Mary trying to find their way back in. And Dolphin, it's 30 seconds left. You got to be ready for the opponents to miss.
Yeah, and that would have been a perfect time to try and take this one over. Dolphin, though, redeems themselves immediately afterwards. 25 seconds left on this one. And we got a bit of a nail-biter. I told you I'd do it.
It is turning into a nail-biter, and I am excited. I really want to see William & Mary just find a way to crack this one home. As Dolphin has boost, has space, can be a little scary, doesn't get the reset that they wanted, but does set up Legacy. Oh, I knew it'd be scary, and William & Mary give us a tie game.
Legacy with 2 on the day now. This game number 1 between Southern Utah and William & Mary definitely paying off. 17 seconds to go. This is the classic 17-second drill here, J Turbo. The ones we always practice.
Oh, the 17-second drill. The constant rapid-fire machine gun commentary going to have to come out. 10 seconds left. Hawken out to the midfield. Truth trying to send it across the side. No teammate ready. Silence off the backboard. Where's the finish? It's going to be kept up. Do we have a rule 0? No, we do not. We got overtime.
Wow. Okay. Yeah, expected a little bit more fireworks and flame there in the last 17 seconds of regular time. Oh, well. Sudden death we go.
Man, and I brought out the 17-second drill and everything. These guys just didn't give me the action for it. I was
like nothing.
I was doing reps earlier, man. Come on.
I liked it.
Truth scores in 17. We should have kept it alive. We should have kept to the drill. Truth was a step ahead of us.
Yeah, that's amazing. Legacy gets this here. Silence goes up for it and just can't quite get the nose up under that one. William & Mary are your Game 1 winners. Southern Utah going to be looking to strike back and game number 2. Let's take a look at these numbers. The numbers, Mason. 11 total shots for William and Mary. Are you kidding? 8 total for Southern Utah. I guess with a game that has 7 total scores, I shouldn't be that surprised, especially given that this went into overtime.
Yeah, but it still feels like quite a lot with how tense this game felt, right? And how it didn't feel like we were constantly calling a bunch of saves in the back line. Obviously, we can see there were 5 apiece for each team.
Yeah, each.
But it wasn't as, you know, a team just constantly on defense or a team making these miraculous saves. They were very comfortable. They fit into their rotations. It was nothing too crazy. And I think that's really the statement between these two teams, where it took something a little bit more crazy at times. And when I say crazy, I don't just mean high-flying flip resets. I also mean all 3 members getting bumped in front of their own box to open the door. And the fact that we've gotten both in this series, I just love it. This is exactly the kind of College Rocket League I like to see. It's not super refined or super technical, but you get some fantastic moments between 2 very evenly matched teams.
Yeah, that's a fantastic point, J Turbo. Like, I feel like sometimes people think that passes need to be like more fancy, or that you have to do fancy stuff on the way into that. At the end of the day, a pass is a pass, and passes frequently turn into points. Okay, especially just the act of redirecting right here. It can be such like a Rocket League thing to try and get like, you know, a little bit of tunnel vision, right, and just like you said, make the TikTok, right, make a clip, but passing so frequently just changes attention right here, and I would love to see Southern Utah kind of invest that a little bit more instead of just being the silence show.
Yeah, that is how it's felt. Truth is just gonna kick things off. Doesn't even care off of the kickoff. It's just a demo into an empty net. It's unfortunate where you do get caught in those rotations, but that's why kickoffs can be so crucial. They give you these moments to just steal away momentum and give yourself that free lead, as it feels like the game's barely started and you're already down. Silence nearly going to get another opportunity. Instead, this looked like a set piece from William and Mary off the fake, but Dolphin just couldn't quite receive that pass. And that's another thing I like to see, is teams experimenting with their kickoffs and trying out different approaches to throw their opponents off guard.
Speaking of throwing opponents off guard right here, William and Mary, early score, early lead. Southern Utah is mostly operated from that advantage, from the winning side right here, J Turbo. We're going to have to see how in game 2 they do deal with this one, especially after an OT loss, sudden death, game number 1 to William and Mary. William and Mary is no stranger to really good Rocket League teams, like we were saying, you know, like they took their 3 wins, their 3 losses were the top 5 EGFC team.
Yeah, they have lots and lots of practice against very strong teams. That was almost a pretty interesting approach out of the midfield for William and Mary, but it turns into this low-flying ball. Nice touch out of Silence, just drops that one without much fanfare, and we're all tied up right around the 1 minute. Feels like a bit of deja vu.
I gotta say, this is literally exactly what I was talking about for Southern Utah. I feel vindicated. I feel justified here, right? That was, I mean, it might still be the silent show, but it was a pass into it, and immediately, as soon as this ball comes across, and it obviously isn't going in, just the attention from William Mary shifts from, oh, like, don't block this, for, oh, just get into position, oh, wait, Silence is literally in our face right now.
And Silence trying to find the redirect off of Legacy, going for the save. Nearly had the speed, couldn't quite get it. Truth with the pre-jump to prevent the option from being available. Silence once again off the backboard. It's been a lot of pressure into the William and Mary half since that last score, but still none of it quite materializing into a good shot. That one's decent. Wow. And Hawken, a slow roller, but a deep angle makes it work.
Yeah, able to wing this one in from the top. Fantastic stuff. He just comes flying in like that as well. Yeah, fantastic for this player to get that one done. There, yeah, again, aerial performance, aerial prowess really showing through here for a lot of these different players. This time it was Hawken. Silence has been aplenty. Southern Utah back in the lead.
And I'm sure they're going to be very comfortable, but this is also the same thing that we saw last game. Southern Utah getting themselves up to a 3-1. William and Mary somehow answering back in the final minute to take us to overtime. And now it's going to be Utah having to tighten up, as Legacy nearly able to still go through that bump, as now Truth is in a very tough position. Clean half flip to find his way out. And once again, couple Utah members real close to each other, but not quite running into each other's lines like we saw at the start of game number 1. And that's the kind of adjustment and evolution of a team that you like to see in a series.
just like respecting each other's space like a little bit more, right? Not always tailing, not just eating the trail boosts of their individual teammates, and just playing like all the way across, you know, covering the pitch, at least the offensive side. Hawken now up the middle. Truth with the backwards hit on that, but hey, it stopped it. Can't knock it if it works.
Yeah, it's very true, and it does go back into William & Mary possession. Truth gets a second, very light off of the ceiling. That could have been very, very dangerous. Is Legacy trying to find something? I didn't even realize that was on, as this is going to sting past the post. And just 2 minutes to go for William & Mary to bring this one back. I'm sure Utah want to get back into that insurance zone. They want to renew their contract with All-State, but still hasn't quite been able to put that one together. Is Legacy going to be a long-time customer, able to find an answer back? Plenty of work on the defense. This has been very, very back and forth. Neither team putting together too many structured plays. It feels like they're looking for boom, they're looking for space, and then they're just trying to finish the job once they get there. Legacy gets bumped from behind.
Nicely done there from Hawken. I think he kind of realized this play as it was coming in. Best thing to do, don't play ball, just play player. That was a little bit of a breakaway, too, and a 1v situation on the defensive side. Solid job for Southern Utah maintaining this lead. They're still in the offensive. Silence from the top. Dolphin does get there, but it's going to be D-Town. If that had been a little bit more centered, we'd be looking at a 3-1.
Just that much closer. And it's been a real game of margin so far, as Legacy, nice transition up. They've got the extra member, and it's just strong enough. There's no answer on the back line. Legacy ties things up with a minute to go.
Dolphin, Legacy, Legacy, Dolphin, doesn't matter. This one might actually kind of have been like a mini fake, you know, like 2 different players coming in, both of them able to jump away at any given time. One was going to hit it left, one was going to hit it right. They go for the left side hit to put it in to the right. Fantastic stuff. 50 seconds left on here, tied game. Do we go to an overtime in game 2, J-Turb?
I hope so. I hope we get that consistency. And I mean, honest, I love series where the 2 teams are so even that you're seeing consistent overtimes, because it's not so much that it feels like a coin flip, but it feels like which team it just has that little extra bit of consistency. Which team has that little extra bit, as so far it looked like it'd be William & Mary, but a great save by Hawken and a better push out from D-Town will mean that we're keeping this one even, as William & Mary nearly finding a way to finish it.
Dolphin, there to Truth. Picks this one up. D-Town stops it, but Legacy intercepting across the middle. Fighting over it is Legacy and Hawken. That's decently on point, but Dolphin is always there. A prominent species on the Rocket League pitch it is. 5 seconds to go here. Next to last bounce. Last bounce coming in. Rule 0 may not be respected. Doesn't matter.
Like D-Town just wants to drop this one.
I like it. I like it. Yeah, that makes sense. Overtime we go. No coin flips here. This ain't the NFL in overtime.
No, not at all. I mean, it feels like a coin flip with how even these teams have been so far and throughout this series. Remember, it's still game 2, and we've gotten already we've gotten 2 overtimes. Of course, the last one only 17 seconds. Very, very fast approach out of William & Mary. Not going to see the same kind of blistering pace this game, but it will come down to whether or not Southern Utah can score again, because they have not been able to score when they really need to. There have been opportunities, just haven't found the opportunity. It's been William & Mary that have had the potential for that clutch factor, and I think it might start to play into the mentals. William & Mary, of course, having the confidence from last game, and right there, a double commit already showing Southern Utah just a little uncomfortable in these really tight positions, as D-Town getting demoed, but manages to bump Legacy off of it.
Truth to the middle. Silent, solid shot. Dolphin, an even better stop. Fantastic right there. Just to stop any progress right in its tracks. Silence trying for another one right there is D-Town waiting in the wings. Back down to the bottom. Legacy continues this. That's like a pretty good angle. Dolphin again. It's just a little bit off.
Oh, I was believing. I was a believer. It was the last scene of Shrek 2, dude. I was with everyone. I was dancing. I was a believer, and instead, Dolphin unable to finish the job. Taps that one up for Truth. Both miss again, as that is such a brutal position. It's overtime. You need the touch, and just barely. Dolphin's able to get back to it, force something back, get this out of the William & Mary box. It's floating right in front, but there's no one who's ready. Legacy wants a second touch, just a little too fast. 2 members up for William & Mary on that side wall. Is Truth alone for now. and will be able to knock this one out once again, as we're nearing 2 minutes of overtime, and both teams have had really solid looks, but there have been even better defenses to back those up.
Yeah, there's been plenty of offense, that is for sure. There has been better defensive performances, in my opinion, than there has been offenses. Legacy up, but no, Silence is golden right there with a defensive stop yet again. Double demo. D-Town and Legacy trading right here, 2v2 for just the time being. Bounce back over. Truth almost gets everything going right there when you're talking about an offensive position.
Dolphin, such a risky position, having to go for just the lightest deflex. I mean, of course, very confident in their abilities, ready to land those clears when needed. It's not off the post. Truth out of position, and Silence snatches this game away from William and Mary, and we have got a series.
Wow, so yeah, Silence gets the defensive stop done earlier and then comes in with a nice cutaway to take this series to extra games. We will not be seeing any 3-0s here today, J Turbo.
Nope, and that's exactly what I wanted to see. That last game, again, it was a 3-0. It was evident that Marquette, they've just had a struggling season, but now William and Mary, Southern Utah, back and forth, both games decided by 1 in overtime. You can't get a better series than this. You just get some beautiful Rocket League out of both teams. You get these super tense moments, and we've seen that sometimes just comes down to who has that tight rotation at the last second, because in that second game, it was not William and Mary, it was Southern Utah finding the opening.
Exactly. We are going to a game 3 here in a second with a guaranteed game 4 after that. In case you're just now tuning in, tied up series, Southern Utah drops game 1 in overtime at a 4-3 scoreline. William Mary takes that one, then William Mary follows it up with another overtime performance. They unfortunately drop 3-2, going the way of Southern Utah. Love to see it. Back and forth we go. Where we stop, J Turbo, I do not know.
I don't know either.
All I said earlier is what I was confident saying, and that was this is not going to be a 3-0, and I feel vindicated.
I just hope that we go to Champions Field. That's all I'm hoping for, is that game number 5 takes us all the way to Champs Field, where we can get that fantastic game 5, as I think that we're just running into a slight server issue as everyone is loading in, making sure that they're on the right sides and on the right teams, as it's the nature of online competition, right? It just takes a few seconds to get everything sorted, but we are getting so close to getting into this game 3. And what I'm noticing from Southern Utah is they panic a little bit when they're in these really tight moments, whereas William and Mary just struggle to sometimes find that extra bit of speed that they need in similar spots, but not this time, as Dolphin pops it up for Truth, and that was nearly a 5-second goal back-to-back in 2 and 3.
I like to think that it's like some kind of chess game, right? Like that both players are going up at these and they're both faking, and not that players are like showing what they can do to such amazing extent, and then not one but both players, opposite teams, kind of whiff a little bit. No whiffing here though. That was Legacy up, little backboard action. Dolphin goes for it. I believe that was Truth with the last touch.
Yeah, it was, and I wouldn't so much call whiffs on the Utah defense just as much as that was such an awkward sequence trying to play out, because I think that they were expecting there to be a touchdown off of the pass from Dolphin to Truth, and instead it just turns into speed. This time it looks like just a kickoff pinch that goes horribly wrong. Yeah, just the second touch off of the kickoff in the air, right on target, and Legacy not far enough behind it.
Yeah, so has to try and play ball right here. Gets the technical own goal, but it was in the defensive attempt, so 30 seconds into this one, we're back to a tied situation. Why am I not surprised, J Turbo? This has been a back and forth series so far. Why shouldn't game 3 go the same way?
I don't see why not. Keep it tied for as long as possible. Maybe go to overtime with a 1-1 this time instead of a 2-2 or a 3-3. I think the pattern would recognize that we should have a 1-1 OT this time around, or maybe we go the opposite direction and both teams score 4, but I highly doubt that with how this game has been tightening up. Again, we saw that both of those goals being real anomalies off of 2 awkward kickoffs, and once we get into some more controlled Rocket League where both teams are actually contesting the midfield, we're seeing it is nowhere near that same level of scoring potential, as Legacy doesn't get the second touch, and D-Town barely denies Truth off the cross, and this is another screamer up top. Silence couldn't get the redirect, and Dolphin on defense.
Yeah, Silence I had 2 options there. Go for redirect, go for defensive player because the angle was true. Goes for ball, and that counts all day long. Love to see it. 3 minutes, 20 seconds left in this competition. Tied up right now as this is William and Mary. A little bit of a defensive side. Oh no, back to the mid-pitch right now.
Oh, that's a awkward touch. We can see D-Town. It was a decent pass to him, but just they weren't ready for that follow-up, and this is going to lead to some disarray for Southern Utah, or maybe William and Mary as they got caught on the rotate. That was nearly the wackiest unintentional pass turn around into a goal, but instead it turns into a stint of offensive pressure, and now a counterattack opportunity for Truth. Just tries to get in front of the ball, gets the bump, and uses the post to his advantage. We're not getting a 1-1 tie. We're getting a second goal for William and Mary.
What, so it was William and Mary like 13 seconds in, tied up by Southern Utah, 30 seconds into the game, then a couple minutes go past. Now William and Mary back into that lead. I haven't really seen anything more than a one-score difference very much in this series yet either.
No, just the one time in game number 1 where they did get the insurance goal, where they signed their progressive policy. I'm just changing companies each time because I don't know what these guys have for car insurance. They're going to need a lot of it with the demos we're starting to see come together, as Truth gets over Hawken, and Legacy going to set up for Dolphin. Very good demo out of D-Town, as Dolphin's going to need to be calling his representative for that one to get back onto the pitch. And Legacy will tap this one right back towards Truth, and that's a beautiful passing play coming together for William and Mary. Doesn't materialize in much, but certainly shows glimpses of what's to come.
Oof, almost a dangerous look right there. Dolphin, though. There you go. Geico. Get you the number later. You can go talk to that green little, the green gecko Geico, right? 2 minutes into this one, and William and Mary.
Gecko.
Geico. Did I say gecko? That wouldn't make any sense.
It's close enough. We know the little green man. Their newest commercial with like waffles, where it's like a 24-hour waffle place, and they go and get waffles at the end of the commercial, is great. Loved it.
I do love waffles.
Who doesn't?
Yeah. Fools, I'll say that. They have pockets with which to hold syrup. I mean, I don't understand how you create a more interesting bread breakfast pastry topping.
Exactly. I mean, for me, I like pancakes every now and again, of course, but I've still got to give them a little pocket for my syrup. I got to cut one out myself. Waffles, they just do it for you. It's pre-built pockets.
Yeah.
That's all that you can ever ask for. Is continuing on, William and Mary can just ask for no more pressure from Southern Utah. As the last time we saw this game score, it did get tied up. Of course, the shoe was on the other foot last time, and now William and Mary starting to figure out their opponents, getting close to finding number 4. And Southern Utah put under pressure for really the first time this series, as regularly they've been the ones who've held the lead and have just had to answer back to William and Mary's responses. Now they finally have to put something together in this final minute.
Down by 2, about 60 seconds to go. At a certain point, you're Southern Utah, you have to pour all of this into offense. If you lose by 2, you lose by 10, who cares? Loss is a loss, right? I think that's going to have to start happening in about 10 seconds or so. I'm not saying abandon the back position, but just play way more up on the ball, because again, even if they do get these big clears into points, loss is a loss.
Exactly.
Nice take.
I like that move from D-Town, but Truth still just finding all of these little creative options. And William and Mary, one thing I've noticed from their play, of course they're getting aggressive, and of course they're going to score once again, and they're going to completely remove the entire purpose of my last point. But I was going to say that William and Mary, they've been wasting a lot of time. They've been making sure that they've been holding on to possession, and even if they're not holding possession, the clears that they're making and the touches they're taking are really awkward. They're not easy to read. They're not easy to regain momentum. They're a spot that you might have to reset from, as this game is all but over. The first time we haven't gone to overtime. William and Mary convincingly taking this one, as D-Town gonna fly harmlessly past. Dolphin is gonna be just very, very happy in the air, gets the double. Legacy tries to adjust, and I think Utah just trying to knock this one down, unless maybe they want to roll zero it all the way back to the William and Mary court. A nice pinch. No ups for Dolphin. Who's gonna find it? D-Town contested by Truth. They are really keeping this one up, and Truth might be the recipient. Legacy, no double. Dolphin can't be fast enough, and we are still up for one more touch. Oh my, that was quite a while, but William and Mary will be comfortably taking game number 3 and putting the series to match point.
Yeah, comfortably taking game 3, which is the first time I think you can say that about either of these teams thus far. Now, this is kind of I mean, just take a look at the numbers, right? Southern Utah, 5 total shots on, and Silence with one of them. Silence has mostly been shut down here.
Yeah.
William and Mary coming through, 9 total shots attempted between 2 different players. This kind of time of possession indicator is enough to tell me exactly why it is that William and Mary was able to take this at a 3-score advantage, and that is essentially they just had more opportunities. When you play in defense in Rocket League consistently, you will eventually get scored on.
Yeah, it's true. You can't play defense forever because, as we saw last game, William and Mary, they're just going to keep on battering down the doors and create their own opportunities. And instead, it's Southern Utah who've been largely shut down, especially, again, that star player you noted. Silence. It was really the Silence show. Game 1, Game 2, making those bigger plays, finding his way into the opponent's box. And once you start to eliminate that lead player, the rest of the team can start to fall. And for Utah, instead of trying to adjust their own play to maybe allow their other players to step up, I think in addition to that, they should also try and do the same thing to William and Mary. Try and shut down Dolphin and Truth, who's really started to step up as Legacy has really been that third man, has been completing a lot of these possessions in these positions, but it's been Dolphin and Truth that have really stood out to me as the big playmakers.
Yeah, Legacy has been there. Legacy has scored a couple of their own as well, but I'd have to agree with you on there, especially, again, sound like a broken record, we talk about passes. They just so frequently turn into points. They say that alchemy isn't a thing.
I don't know if that's alchemy. We're not turning, like, metal into gold. We're just turning passes into scores. I think then we just have to call, like, the Premier League alchemy as well. And instead, it's going to be a much calmer start to this game number 4 than we've seen in 2 and 3, where we had some pretty explosive starts to the game. I think we had 1-1 on the scoreboard last time at 30 seconds, and this time around much more controlled. And it looks like D-Town already trying to get a little chaotic as Dolphin pushed off the pitch, and 2 are up, and that's another problem I've seen out of Southern Utah. When they have a second and third man, they both go up, and it opens the door for Dolphin to splash on into your goal.
Yeah, nicely done. This is a heavy offensive commit from Southern Utah. Tell me if you kind of sense a theme here if they do go forth and abandon it. I think that Southern Utah has just kind of opened the barrel to see just how much value there is in demos, and they have liked what they found so far. I think it was D-Town with a double demo, and then Silence who found one of theirs afterwards as well. William and Mary, if the game plan remains the same, it'll just be about playing Rocket League with paying a little bit more attention to where these opponents are and avoiding the demos.
Yeah, it's just going to come down to playing your game, keeping it clean, like just again, Hawken and D-Town, consistently the two who have been making those positioning mistakes, and it almost works out for them with Silence off the top, and this time there's not that third member to try and clock that one in. Silence going to keep this one dangerous, but still, the more times you double commit, the less options you have available, and Silence shut down by Truth on the goal line. I've got a feeling there's some sort of joke in there about the best Truth being Silence or something, but instead, it's just going to be Dolphin continuing to push this one back out into the midfield, and Silence trying to answer. Good screamer from D-Town, and it snipes right past Legacy, and that's what I want to see out of Utah.
It's a tough down, D-Town. Fantastic mid-pitch shot, and that's exactly where it needed to be to make sure the Legacy couldn't really get the glove out to this one. 3 minutes, 7 seconds left, tied scoreline. Back and forth we go. Southern Utah takes this. They will they will have tied up the series at 2-2. William Mary takes this. Be going down in the record books as a William Mary W.
Yeah, and that'll actually put both these teams at an even score line for the season. Likely put William and Mary close to that top 10 as far as standings are concerned. They'd be very happy to find their way back up there after, again, running into NAU and Cincinnati. Just a couple of really tough matches. And now Dolphin, a little bit of an option, tries to pass that one out and get a clear. It was dangerous for a second, but it's still just a lot of chaos on the sidewall. Dolphin gets past one. Silence comfortably clears that one, but there's still no immediate follow-up. That's been another issue I've seen out of Southern Utah. And as you've been mentioning, it's those passes. They haven't been as structured. They haven't been as material, and it has shown so far that they haven't been able to crack through this William & Mary defense.
Cracking through that William & Mary defense will be the name of the game. I have to say, I think that Southern Utah has changed up their offensive plays a little bit more, you know? Like, you know, you change your offensive play, you change your defensive play. William & Mary has kind of just been playing their own game. I am not against it whatsoever. I said it before, say it again. Don't fix it. Ain't broke. Silence.
Exactly.
Speaking of, Hawken. Just over to the middle. It's Truth coming onto the backboard. Just kind of surveys everybody below them and just kind of waits and almost gets this past D-Town.
Yeah, that was unfortunate. Oh, Dolphin lucky on that one. D-Town's got to be kicking himself after that one. You hate to see it where you shoot right into where your opponent landed off the save. Nearly turns into a counterattack opportunity. Is Legacy actually going to keep this one dangerous? Leaves it for Dolphin. And William & Mary just says we'll strike back after they clear it a little haphazardly. And that's exactly what they do. Legacy to Dolphin. Truth waiting for the backboard read, and it's Silence to stuff that one back into the midfield, as there's still just no break for the Thunderbirds. They are getting stuck. They are getting caught out in their own half until Legacy might make a mistake and open the door. Pinch attempted, and I like that look because it means Truth can still find his way back on the defense.
Speaking of, Silence here right now. Hit back down. D-Town again surveying here. Silence to his right, and Truth, Legacy both take demos. Ball, oh man, that was so close to this ball actually staying on that side, and if that had been the case, you know, only one defender back, I think that would have led to a William & Mary goal. As it is, we are 30 seconds away from an OT situation. Turbo.
It would be more the rule than the exception for this series if we get another overtime, as it would be 3, only 1 not going to OT. Being that game number 3, we saw William & Mary take it quite handily. And now they're looking to try and end the series here. They don't want to go to overtime. They don't want to go to Champs Field. They're taking shots on the net, and Hawken going to clear it away. But so far, it is all in for William & Mary as the clock continues to tick down. But now it's cleared back into the orange half, and there's a chance for a Rule 0 goal here to prevent overtime as Dolphin just tries to tap it out, and William & Mary want a fresh kickoff.
And we are to overtime for the 3rd time in 4 games, people. Again, like J Turbo said, more the rule, not the exception. There's a little demo action early from Silence. They've started both their regular game and kickoffs frequently with that demo being of mind. William & Mary trying for this one. Back on the offense yet again. Dolphin to the right side. Misses one player on the corner. Legacy comes up. A solid hit. Bounce up! Hawken barely gets something onto that one and blocks this one away.
Oh, no, such a pretty play from both William & Mary players involved. Looked really nice, just not quite enough power on the redirect as Silence going to try and send this one to the corner, but there's still not an immediate response, and that's just been the trouble for Utah this whole time, where if there's not a hole already placed for them in the William & Mary defense, they've really struggled to score. Silence got to knock this one off his own backboard, send it straight back to where Truth and Dolphin are laying in wait. An easy shot, saved away, as just trying to think of what can Southern Utah do to take us to a game 5, because William & Mary this game, they've had more possession, they've had more opportunities, just haven't quite been able to connect on all of them.
Yeah, I don't know exactly how Southern Utah can both like continue on their offensive like demos and stuff like that and that kind of pressure while also getting themselves like actual solid offensive shots and like based on their positioning when you go for that. That's an open net, and that's going to be William & Mary putting a bow on top of this game number 4. A 2-1 scoreline here in game number 4 after William & Mary take what, game number 1 4-3 overtime situation, drop game 2 3-2 overtime situation. I think 4-1, the game 3 is more of the fluke, again, more the exception than the rule, J Turbo.
Exactly. It was a great showing from both teams. I think Southern Utah, if they had just one more chance at the William & Mary goal, they could have turned that one around. And this game, number 4, a real star performance from Dolphin. 2 goals, 2 saves, almost 700 points, making a real statement in the server. And that's what you can ask. That's all you can really ask for when you look at this captain, when you look at this star player for the Griffins. It has been always, not always the Dolphins story, but it's certainly been one of those major players. But you can't do it without Truth and Legacy holding down the defense and creating so many passing opportunities.
Yeah, and speaking of passing opportunities, William & Mary actually gets out shot attempted on this one. 9 shots attempted there for Southern Utah, William and Mary coming up with 7. And so it's kind of a question of like quantity, quality, right?
Yes.
You got plenty of opportunity, and frequently that translates, to a majority time of possession. That translates to just more opportunities to get in, and generally translates to more goals. That is not the case here today. After another game goes down, overtime situation decided by 1. FBI Tugboat, J Turbo with you. We'll be back with you guys for a little interview action from one of our William and Mary players here in just a little bit for our last game on the EGF Rocket League stream.
What does perfect even mean? Is there even such a thing? Ooh, can we switch up all the rules and imagine a utopia? Darling, I'm just so fed up with these expectations. They keep weighing me down. My heart is begging me to get the hell out of my head. I'm gonna live inside the upside down for a minute and pretend, honey, I'm a perfect 10. Whoa, whoa, honey, I'm a perfect 10. Whoa, whoa, and if I say it enough, it gets ingrained in my head, and I start to see, honey, I'm a perfect 10. Honey, I'm a perfect 10. Whoa, honey, I'm a perfect 10. Honey, I'm a, yeah. Yeah, I've discussed it with myself, and I'm disgusted with the way we're told.
Hello and welcome back, FBI Tugboat with my man J Turbo. We have coming hot off the heels of a very, very close Southern Utah University and William and Mary matchup here. Matchup that did go down to a 3-1 scoreline. William and Mary taking it out, but again, incredibly close. 3 of these games going down to overtime. We now have Dolphin here on the horn with us. Dolphin from the winning team of William and Mary. You with us, Dolphin?
Yep. Thanks for having me.
Not a problem. Not a problem. Now, I've asked the same question twice here today. I'll frame it to you a little bit different. You're walking to wherever you're going to go play this Rocket League game, and just, a crazy person comes out and grabs you by the shoulders, and they scream in your face, Dolphin, today in your matchup with Southern Utah University, 3 of those games are going to go down to overtime. Of the 4, do you go home and be like, oh man, this crazy guy just said some crazy stuff to me on the street today, or you think like, man, that guy's got a point?
That would have had me worried, to be honest. We were coming into this game very confident. We do a lot of scouting on all the teams we play, and we go into each match thinking that we can win 3-0. Obviously, you want to win 3-0
Yep.
for tiebreaker purposes. So yeah, if you told me that before the match, I would have been scared. I would have thought we were losing.
Gotcha. J Turbo?
Oh man, Yeah, I was gonna say with all of those overtimes, how did that impact the team? Because again, you said you guys came in very confident. You weren't expecting it to be such a tight affair, and then going game one, you pick up that first goal, it gets answered right on back to 3. You have to claw back and then win overtime win that 17 seconds. How did that sort of jumpstart your series?
Well, we came out a little slow, I think. All like we warm up before our matches, and during the warm up, we felt a little bit off mechanically. Um, and so I don't know. The overtimes definitely at least got our heads in the game a little bit. Made us take it a bit more seriously. Not that we weren't taking it seriously, but made us perhaps focus a little bit more. Um, and yeah, my teammates always do a good job. I have a little bit of a not like a hot head, but I do get frustrated in game. And yeah, my teammates always do a good job of picking me back up, making sure that we stay focused on the task at hand.
That's amazing to hear that you guys have such a cohesive unit and such a great team environment. And how did that sort of team environment and that consistency and that confidence help you guys? As if I'm not mistaken, you were swapping between East and West during the series to make sure that it was as even as possible for both teams. So how did that additional hurdle really impact you guys, and how did the team help you guys get through it?
Yeah, we've played a few series on West before. It's definitely like slightly harder to play on.
Mhm.
For me personally, it's not that much of an issue. I think playing West is fine. I queue European servers sometimes when I'm bored. Um, and so
Okay.
uh, so yeah, for me it wasn't that big of a deal. The funny part was just that I kept leaving before I was supposed to.
Couldn't get your stats, man. Come on.
Yeah, the hothead indeed. I love it. So I wanted to ask if there's one team that you really, really are looking forward to playing within the EGFC. I know you said you did a lot of scouting for your games. Which team would you really like to play? You play them next week, for example.
Um, I don't know. I'd like to play UConn again. They beat
Mm.
us 3-1 last season. One of their players, Anton, is one of my buddies that I queue with sometimes. Um, and I feel like if we had that series back, we would have won. So I'd like to play them just because I think we can beat them.
I hear it. UConn. Be on the lookout. I love it. I love it. Dolphin, I want to thank you for giving us a minute of your time after the game and kind of look into the mind of a player post 3-1 victory with so many overtimes as well. My goodness. I want to ask you if you have any shout outs before we get you on out of here.
Yeah, shout out my parents. I know they're watching.
Hey, there
They
you
watch
go.
every week. Shout out my friends at home who also tune in when they can, when school's not too busy. Uh, and yeah, shout out my teammates for you know putting in some good work today.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And but where the crazy guy is screaming Rocket League predictions at you, okay? Like
Yeah,
on your way home.
shout out that guy too.
I love it. I love it. Everybody, this has been Dolphin, William, and Mary in a 3-1 victory again with so many of these going down to overtime. That is going to be about it here for Jay Turbo and I over here at the EGF. Now there is a main channel going on. We will go ahead and raid there. If you enjoyed what you hear here, go ahead and follow on with the Twitch channel. I believe our personal Twitters are down below. You can check those out. Jay Turbo, FBI Tugboat. I want to give a shout out to Paz one more time before we get this on out of here, because now I believe we have reached my least favorite part of any broadcast, Jay Turbo, and that, of course, is the end. Do you have anything else for the good people before we bid them adieu?
Nothing much to say. I mean, you covered most of it. I'm going to give another shout out to Dolphin's parents because I love hearing about supportive parents in esports. I'm lucky enough to have some supportive parents. And so every single story where in Collegiate you see these parents supporting their kids pursue what they love, it is just super, super heartwarming. So any parents out there in chat, you guys are amazing. Much love coming from Turbo and the broadcast team. And also just thank you guys for coming out, even if you're not a parent, because we appreciate any support that you guys give to the scene and to these players.
Absolutely. That's going to do it for us here. Raid started, raid activated. We'll catch you guys on the next one.